Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Sports Matrix. This is the guy,
Who's the other guy?
and we're back for another episode. So, how you doing, Luke?
I'm doing good, man. I know it's been a minute. We've been trying to plan some stuff out, and some short form content is coming your way. We're working on that with one of our buddies, so we're doing a little Super Bowl episode right now. And my prediction, yeah, actually, I'll let Colson go first about his prediction, but it's tomorrow night. I'll be working, so I won't watch the game, but I have a prediction for how it's going to play out.
At 5 o'clock, specifically, I think Central Time. But yeah, like one of our friends, he did actually help us. We edited one of the shorts that you should see on the channel right now, our second to most recent video.
Oh yeah, it was a minute too long, or a second too long.
And we were talking shit about YouTube. Oh boy.
No, yeah, I think I posted it. It's like on, but it's like technically a video because it's 1 second too long.
I saw that. Yeah,
Did it give me views yet? I didn't even check.
a couple. I think we're like 10. We're getting there.
Oh, okay. We're trying to get our subs up though, and I think short form content will help a lot.
100%. Hey,
Yeah.
that's why we're getting to it. That's why
Yeah.
we're gonna keep grinding on it. But yeah. So for the Super Bowl, in my opinion, I think there's the team I'd want to win, and my actual prediction of the score. I want the 49ers to win. I'm not a big fan of the Chiefs. I'm not gonna lie. But
Yeah, you're on alone.
yeah. Oh, that's the thing. I wonder how many, because there are definitely, like, I mean, obviously in California, but other places where there are diehard 49ers fans. But how many of the actual people that, like, bet on the 49ers or wanted the 49ers to win that just don't like the Chiefs?
Like 90% probably.
Probably. They're just like, I just want this team to win.
Yeah, because the Chiefs, it's like a lot of distractions and the whole Taylor Swift stuff, and like Patrick Mahomes' dad actually got a DUI. Did you hear about that?
I actually did not hear about this.
I didn't look into it, but he got arrested. I think it was for a DUI. I didn't look into it too long. But that's like, I mean, that's their personal issue. But like, it's more like the Taylor Swift stuff, and it just like seems like it's kind of weird because it's always in your face, and it's like kind of, I don't know. It kind of seems it's just kind of annoying because it's like, yeah, we get it. Taylor Swift's talented, but like, why are you always showing her on the TV every second? It's kind of weird.
I mean, I always figured it'd be like, you show Taylor Swift, you get more of an audience, you get more ratings, all that type of thing. But like, I mean, and this is a huge thing. Like, I hope that her and Travis Kelsey are actually like just genuinely a good couple and they actually like love each other for themselves. Because if it's really about all publicity, like
It
that,
seems that way. It does seem that way. It's hard to say, but like, I don't know. I don't think like that. When it comes to like the NFL being scripted, that's a very interesting conversation because I think it's more likely that the refs are corrupt than like the players are following a script. But I do feel like the Taylor Swift Chiefs stuff. I do think there is kind of like a marketing push for sure. Like I don't think it's just like
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it's very in your face. I guess.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. I mean, I'm sure they're probably using it to their full advantage. But like with specifically the Chiefs, like I feel like they're a team that, like you were saying, the refs, they're not going to give it to any other team if, like, let's say the Chiefs are losing by like 20, but if the Chiefs are barely in the game
Yeah.
or like they're barely winning, like for instance, the Raven, like the Bills, I believe the Bills should have won that game. They played better. And the Ravens, that PI at the end, like I'm not going to lie, I was a little irritated because I'm like, you're kind of giving them the game at that point.
I literally didn't see I saw the beginning of the Ravens Chiefs games because again I was at work. I work at a gym. I absolutely love it. So when I'm at the gym, I'm actually not really watching these games. But the Bills Chiefs, I think I did see part of that game, and it was very close. It was a very close game.
Super
The Bills
close.
Chiefs game, yeah.
That one I actually, like you were saying for the Ravens game, I only saw the beginning of the Bills game.
I saw a little bit more of the Bills game. I can't remember. I might have taken a nap or something. I don't even know. But like I saw more of the Bills games. The Ravens Chiefs games, I saw like the first like 10 minutes because I had to go to work.
Did you see the
Yeah.
play where Lamar like threw it
Oh,
and
yeah.
tipped off the guy? He catches. Oh my!
I saw that on
gosh, that was-
YouTube Shorts. Yeah, it's like a viral clip. Yeah,
That was nuts.
it's insane. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was legal. I mean, I should have probably known it was, but I genuinely did not know you could do that.
I've never even seen that. Yeah.
That's the thing. I'd never seen it, so I didn't know if they had it on the books or not.
I mean, technically they had possession of the ball, so I mean, there's no reason for it not to be.
Literally, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I just remember like the defender literally was about to grab it, and Lamar just takes it from him.
I guess Lamar, he probably like he knew that he threw like a fucked up pass, and he's like his instincts kicked in, and he just like went up to get it. I guess it was kind of interesting.
Didn't he play wide receiver at Louisville?
No, they wanted him to play wide receiver. That was the controversy. Remember?
Oh, that's what. But he played running back first, and then
No, he was always quarterback.
I thought he wanted either in high school or college. Like he played running back, and then he wanted to go to quarterback, and then they didn't want him to because he
Oh, really?
couldn't
I'm
throw,
pretty sure he
and
was
then-
always a quarterback. I could double check. But I just remember in the draft they wanted him to play wide receiver and he refused, which was a good idea.
I mean, that literally it helped his career. And there's so many other receivers. Like, I know Zay Flowers choked that game. I know he did. But he is such a good, young, talented receiver that, like, the Ravens' future looks nothing but up. I genuinely think, like,
He's only 23.
he is. And, like, I mean, I know Odell, like, didn't do great. He didn't really play much in that game. But I think he could be a viable piece for them. Like, they have other options as well. Like, I think the Ravens, if they don't win next year, I would be surprised. Or at least get super. Like, they got really close in the AFC Championship. So if they don't get to the Super Bowl, it seems like, the season's not going well for them.
You're saying for the Ravens?
Yeah.
From next year?
Yeah, like, it's kind of one of those things, like, similar in, like, the NBA, you look at, like, the Suns, you look at, like.
For like what they have.
Yeah, like certain, like the Clippers, for instance. Like, if the Clippers do not like win the NBA championship, it's a failure of a season.
Bro, the Sixers have to get to the championship. I don't know why the frick they haven't been there in the last 3 years. Embiid, I guess.
Dude, that's
now Harden's gone. It's gonna be harder for them.
Up until like last year, Doc Rivers 100%. They had, I mean, they probably wouldn't have won against the Celtics in that last series because that was like James Harden had 2 really good shots, and I don't know if they'll be able to replicate that, but they had so many other chances they should have won. But like, I don't want to pin it all on Doc Rivers, but he has had a notorious
like his decision making.
He's just had a notorious history for letting games go. Like in that Celtics series, like granted they probably wouldn't have won. But Embiid did not touch the ball in the entire fourth quarter.
That's so weird.
Like, your franchise player who won the MVP did not touch the ball in the entire fourth quarter.
Was that against the Celtics in the conference? Or
that was in the second round, which was the farthest they had ever been in the process. Or in the process.
Did they lose to the Celtics?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't the conference final. Never mind. But they played the Celtics.
3, yeah, they went to Game 7. They had the 3-2 lead, but yeah. But
honestly, the Cavs, like. I think I was saying, like, Colson, you guys can check some of the previous episodes. Colson and I were both saying the Cavs, we think, would be like a top 4 seed because of the young core they have with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley. They just have a really good, strong foundation. And I just checked, they're in the number 2 seed in the East, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the Thunder. I mean, the Thunder and Cavs are kind of comparable. They're kind of like the good young teams in their conference, I think.
Although, like the players you were just mentioning earlier, I feel like the Thunder just aren't there in terms of like that type of talent. Like they needed, like Josh Giddey's super young.
Chet Holmgren, they should get there though.
Like they need time, yeah. But
Poku, do they still have Poku?
Which guy?
Pokuševski.
I actually don't.
The Serbian guy who looks like a crypto trader.
Don't know. Good question.
You gotta look him up, bro.
I've seen a picture. He's funny, yeah. He looks pretty.
He looks like a crypto trader, but he has like a hot Serbian girlfriend. He's just like nice thing. He's like nailing threes.
Not surprising.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised. Like Chet Holmgren doesn't really seem like a basketball player, but he obviously is.
He looks like one.
Does he? He doesn't.
He's like so skinny and tall.
I mean, maybe it's probably just because like he's like a skinny tall white guy that you're like, he's probably done after high school.
So white dudes are hooping nowadays. Like I think my dad was saying like. He was like saying, like, I've never seen more like white players that are good in the NFL. I'm like, really? And I was like, I never thought about that. He's like, yeah, not to be like a racist or anything. I'm like, that's not even racist at all. That's just like true. That's just objective truth. Because I never thought about that. I'm like, really now? Because in the NBA, I think there's better white talent than ever. But the NFL, I never really thought about that. There might be.
That's what interesting point. Like
McCaffrey.
Besides McCaffrey, like, and obviously a lot more quarterbacks. Like, who else would you say? Like,
I guess like half of them are on the 49ers. But because he's just saying there's a lot of more like white tight ends that are good and some like defensive linemen. I mean McCaffrey with running back. There's a couple of good receivers that are white. Quarterbacks actually kind of reverse. There's more good black quarterbacks now.
I was gonna say literally like Lamar Jackson,
Patrick Mahomes,
CJ Stroud,
Jordan Love.
Exactly. You could go on.
Dak Prescott.
I think Justin Fields could be that guy. Down.
I don't want the Bears to draft Caleb Williams, man. I don't want that.
I don't think anyone would. Like, there are
people that want that, bro.
I hear it sometimes. Like, when I'm just, like, walking around, I'll hear people talking about the Bears, and I'm, like, so tempted to ask, like, are you drafting Caleb Williams?
I would want to draft Marvin Harrison Jr., honestly.
He's such a difference maker. I mean, there have been, like, theories, like, you could trade down and possibly get someone really good, but, like, it depends how just effective Marvin Harrison
is. Well, the Bears have a 7th pick, don't they? Or the 9th pick? They have 2 top 10 picks.
Do they? I mean, I know because they have their pick and Carolina's pick, right? At least to my knowledge, I think so.
From what I've heard, they had the number 1 pick and then number 7th or 9th.
Yeah, that's
So they could draft
still
Marvin
good.
Harrison, and then 7 or 9 they could draft maybe like a defensive guy or probably not a lineman. That's kind of early for lineman, but maybe like a defensive back or
I
something like
thought
that.
they did do that. They drafted like a lineman at like number 8 or 9
Yeah, I
or
know that's kind of
something.
early. I mean, I guess linemen are important though, but that seems early.
If he's effective, then maybe.
Maybe
Yeah,
I mean, Zach Zinter's the Michigan guy. Maybe they could draft him. I don't know where he's slated at though.
Mhm.
Linemen just don't get the credit they deserve. Like, there's really not many linemen I know of besides Zach Zinter in college.
Well, at the top of my head, like
Yeah,
somebody like Trey Smith for the Chiefs, like Mahomes can just sit back there and nobody's pressuring him. You
there's
see,
also the Cowboys one too. Zach Martin.
Zach
Yeah.
Martin's really good. Or I thought at first, like, because there was like rumors during pregame, like he wasn't showing up, like he wasn't like during the training
Who?
camp, like Zach Martin during training
Oh,
camp, like he
really?
had contract issues, he didn't want to show up, all that. I mean, like you were saying, I think he played very effectively, like at least from what I've seen, and he kind of came back in a way.
No, yeah, I saw a video where the guy was like saying who are the top six like highest rated like white guys in Madden. They're all over 97. Number one's McCaffrey. He's like number 99 overall.
Yeah,
It's like McCaffrey, Nick Bosa, and George Kittle were up there.
I didn't think about
Zach
Nick
Martin
Bosa.
was up there.
Mhm.
Who else was on there? It was Zach Martin.
Well, do you think
Oh,
George Kittle's
Max
overrated,
Crosby
though?
was another one. Max Crosby
Oh, Mac Tro-
for
yeah,
the Raiders.
he's always
And
great.
who was the last white dude who was like, up there?
Hmm.
It was
I feel like
it wasn't Travis Kelce actually. It was someone else. It was
interesting. I'm surprised.
Oh, it was T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt was on there.
Oh, TJ Watt. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really good.
Yeah,
There's
those are
like
the 6 top white guys in man. I don't know why this became such a topic, but like I don't know. I just feel like the 49ers, like they just have a lot of good like white dudes.
a lot of solid white guys. But like,
Yeah.
what do you like? Do you think George Kittle's overrated though?
A little bit. I haven't really watched him play. I think there was another that reminds me of another guy. Kittle, I think a little bit, but not like insanely. I think Travis Kelce. Well, Travis Kelce's probably perfectly right, but someone was
Yeah.
saying like Rob Gronkowski or Travis Kelce, the prime versus prime, and someone was saying
Yeah.
Travis Kelce. I'm like Gronk all day, bro. Gronk's way better.
Dude,
Gronk all day, bro.
he did have, but like, I mean, who was better? Like,
Tom Brady and Mahomes are both insane, so it's like you can't even compare that.
that's it. But like, I mean, Tom Brady though, like in his Mahomes, I mean, he's starting to hit his prime. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what would be the age? Like 27, like 28 around there. But
I just think Gronk back when Gronk like in the back in the 2010s when Gronk was just like a monster. Like he could block. He was a deep ball threat. Like I just think he was more dangerous than Kelsey was.
yeah, I
Yes.
mean, but Kelsey's a pretty rounded tight end, right? Like he's
No, they're both definitely really good. But I think
Mhm.
Gronk and prime versus prime, I think Gronk's clears them.
I am curious to see how George Kittle.
They're both
and
the
Travis
same age,
Kelce-
which blew my mind, bro.
Wait, Gronk?
Gronk and Travis Kelsey are both 34.
I forgot Gronk did retire early. I mean, I think he probably could have played another year or two, but like,
I thought Kelsey was younger.
oh no, Kelsey's starting to get older. Kelsey's 35. Chris Jones is like 35. All of their best players besides Mahomes are starting to get older.
Yeah, Mahomes is 28.
I mean, Mahomes has got plenty of time, but like, yeah, it's literally like the Chiefs are actually developing really good young talent, but I'm wondering where they're going to go in the next couple of years.
That's a good point because the Ravens are actually in a better spot than if the teams stay the same, they'll probably make some moves. But the Ravens are actually more equipped to the future than the Chiefs are.
Dude, the Ravens are literally like.
And Lamar Jackson's 27. He's a year younger, but
It feels like
Yeah.
the Ravens. I'm just gonna say, I feel like the Ravens in a way are like the black version of the 49ers.
that's a good point. They got Mark Andrews at tight end though.
Oh, true.
How old is
yeah.
Mark Andrews? Is he older?
I actually don't know. I thought he was younger, right? Or is he? How old is he?
He's probably like late 20s, early 30s.
I don't know a lot about Mark Andrews.
He's actually
Yeah.
pretty good though. Like I'd probably say he's a top 5 top.
They did
I
lose
know.
a lot. One of their linemen retired though. He was really good. The Ravens, one of the Ravens linemen.
They got I know they got Roquan Smith and Jadeveon Clowney on defense.
Especially Jadeveon Clowney. He did have that ugh. I liked when he did it, but like it costed him when he headbutted Mahomes.
He's just like built like that.
He's a monster, yeah. And I mean, I was like, get down there, Mahomes.
He was the first pick in the draft.
Which draft?
Because
he's older,
was it
right?
like 2014?
How old is Jadeveon?
He went to South Carolina and he blew up on Sports Center when he just absolutely obliterated that one Michigan guy. That's like how he became famous.
Like you were saying, he's
Yeah.
built like that.
He's just like a freaking tank. Like he's like what's his name? Like kind of like Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
They're just like insane.
But he's
yeah.
fast, and that's another
He
thing.
might be even more of a tank than Ndamukong Suh, but that's who I compare him to, kind of.
Ndamukong Suh in his prime, though, is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like I kind of compare them in terms of like how much of a menace they are.
Yeah, I
They're both
mean,
like insane.
but like
Are they both defensive tackles?
Well, I thought, maybe I thought Jadeveon Clowney though was like left outside linebacker or something like
If,
because
oh,
he can run too. Like
if Clowney's a linebacker, that's crazy because he's big.
that's the thing.
Oh.
Like, and I feel like that's what separates him is because Jadeveon Clowney, he's an absolute tank, and he probably could go toe to toe with any NFL defensive lineman now. But he can also probably sprint a 450.
He is a linebacker. You're right.
He's like he's a little bit like. Literally,
oh, he's
like,
266, so he's not like insanely. I thought he was like 300 pounds for some reason.
I mean, some of those 300-pound guys are hella athletic.
That's true. And then Ndamukong Suh was
I mean, that's the thing.
Ndamukong
Ndamukong Suh, like he was definitely faster than like your normal D tackle, but like Ndamukong Suh, like he was just a freight train. Whereas like Jadeveon Clowney, like he could do multiple things.
Ndamukong Suh was a defensive
and he's
tackle.
Really picking.
So they're pretty different positions. Like Ndamukong Suh weighs 313, so he was a lot bigger than Clowney's like a faster version of him. That's a good way to put it. Like a linebacker version of him.
But like, I think nowadays though, like there just aren't as many built defensive linemen. So you have Jadeveon Clowney who can literally go toe to toe with anybody because
he's like a linebacker that's like a defensive lineman. It's kind of crazy.
And that's a big thing because they can use him now whenever they. Aiden Hutchinson kind of does that too. Like he'll occasionally play D end because
he is a D end, isn't he?
He also plays linebacker too.
He can move. He can move around.
He can do like Jadeveon Clowney. Like he can do multiple things. So he's a huge asset in that regard.
Aiden Hutchinson, and he's only 23.
Aiden Hutchinson's gonna be their future. They have to keep him.
For sure. No, the Lions are definitely a team of the future. They have a really good young team.
Yeah, I mean, are you keeping Jared Goff though? Like he did good, but
for now, yeah. I mean, unless they get like a free agent, unless they have like the cap space to sign a free agent, I don't think there's any need to do it. Like if they're able to sign like a fucking Justin Herbert in free agency or something, like that'd be insane. But like, I mean,
but the Chargers were choking at the beginning of the season. I mean, they were doing good.
I mean, if you put Justin Herbert on the Lions, I think that's crazy though. Think about it.
I mean, I could see them fit. He could.
Him to Amon-Ra St. Brown. That'd be.
I could see like Justin Herbert fitting on that roster, but like,
I think it'd be a good fit.
Do you think you just like trade Jared Goff for Justin Herbert? Is that a fair?
I'm saying if there's like cap space.
Right. Oh, true.
Yeah, if it makes sense, obviously.
I mean, if you like release, but you'd have to like release let Jared Goff go and hope you can get Justin Herbert.
Oh, that's the way it works. You can't like wait. What if like Justin Herbert's a free? I guess you have to wait until the contracts are up, right?
Yeah. I thought it was kind of similar with the NBA.
Yeah. I mean, who else would be? Because Jared Goff, I mean, like he's actually. I mean, he's not like a top tier quarterback, but he's like top. He's good.
He's good, but
probably like top 10 quarterback.
But then again, he got destroyed.
He's like Joe Flacco, kind of.
He's
like elite, but he's not like elite.
Well, like I think you compared it to like when Joe Flacco was on the Ravens.
Maybe like Matt Ryan or Joe Flacco.
I think Matt Ryan, another guy.
Probably higher than Matt Ryan.
That was he
choked.
That's the thing. When Matt Ryan was on fire, he was one of the best.
He had MVP. Wasn't he the MVP in 2017? He was cooking that year.
One of the years, yeah.
And the year he lost the Super Bowl. Brady came.
Or was that 2018 or 2019? When oh my god, it was like a third.
Actually, it might have been 2016 going into 2017.
Well, because then it's just funny because like in his last year, he had that game against the Vikings where they came back for like 33 points or something.
People forget how good Phillip Rivers was.
Gosh,
Phillip Rivers was good.
I think Phillip Rivers deserves to be in the Hall. I know.
I agree. I agree with that. Like, him and Antonio Gates. Like Phillip Rivers is kind of like he's like a little lower. Like he's like Ben Roethlisberger, but not as good.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I see it. They're both big 6'5" dudes that can chuck the ball. He's like. He's kind of similar to Ben Roethlisberger, but Ben Roethlisberger's just better. That's kind of how I see it.
You know what's interesting? Though? I feel like you have guys like, and I'd even put like Aaron Rodgers in this kind of category of the one Super Bowl quarterbacks. Like they had just had that great year, and then every other year, like something would happen.
Yeah, but the talent is better than that, though. That's kind of how like Drew Brees' example has only one too, right?
He only has one, yeah.
Peyton Manning has two. Eli Manning has two. Does that mean Eli Manning and Peyton Manning are equal? No.
Oh, no. Well, that's the thing, because Peyton Manning, like, he was on some dog shit Colts teams. Like, they were not good.
That's true. Phillip Rivers is probably one of the better quarterbacks of the 21st century to never win.
It's true. He kind of reminds me of Dan Marino almost. Like, I mean,
not as good, but like kind of similar.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, Phillip Rivers did have a better team though. So for like whatever skill level he could get to, Dan Rivers was just kind of made by like his receivers or like.
Yeah, because wasn't it LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates, and Phillip Rivers on one team?
Was LaDainian Tomlinson in that era? I'm not
maybe.
sure. I know Antonio Gates, Keenan Allen at the end, like.
Imagine if they had if that team didn't make it to the Super Bowl, that's kind of sad because they had so much talent. But then maybe the defense was bad. There's a lot of factors.
Or if LaDainian Tomlinson was like older, maybe I don't know. Because like
Yeah, it might have been a
he was,
little
like,
earlier. But
he was
like,
in the '90s.
Philip Rivers was around for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, when did Philip? I think
It was like
like
2000s.
2003, 4. He got drafted.
Stanley Tomlinson.
He was their franchise quarterback until literally like he. It was Philip Rivers. Then they drafted Justin Herbert, and
So he was on the Chargers from 2000 to 2009. Let's see Philip Rivers now. Philip Rivers.
Oh, he might have played with him for a couple years then. But then they would have had Antonio Gates too, but they didn't have Keenan Allen.
So Philip Rivers was on the Chargers from. Oh, so he played with them for like 5 years then. So he was on the Chargers from 2004 to 2019.
And
Antonio Gates.
Yeah, Antonio Gates as well.
And was Keenan Allen around that time?
That's what I'm thinking. I don't.
Maybe
Keenan Allen was a rookie, but like
Keenan Allen.
But in your prime, LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates, Philip Rivers. Maybe it could have been like a Matt Stafford situation where they had like
Keenan Allen was after, but like from 2000 and like in the mid to late 2000s, it was Philip Rivers, Antonio Gates, and LaDainian Tomlinson, the triple threat right there.
Literally, but I wonder if it was kind of similar to like the Lions situation where they had Matt Stafford, Calvin Johnson, Ndamukong Suh, and then that was it.
It was on deep. Yeah, they're just like not filled out. Kind of like, I mean, the Chiefs are kind of similar to that right now though, because they just have Mahomes and Kelsey, and then they're not bad around the board, but like the Niners are just like they're more like top heavy, or not top heavy, but they're more like well rounded.
Yeah,
I say like, because they got Fred Warner and Nick Bosa on defense. They got really good receivers: Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and Jawan Jennings. Those are really good wide receivers. McCaffrey's an unbelievable running back. George Kittle's unbelievable tight end. Brock Purdy is a really good quarterback, but it's like he's so young that it's like I don't know how to rank him yet.
That's a little bit, and he's had I don't know, I don't want to say he's had like each season he's been in the playoffs, he's had like an easier ride with his opponents, but he hasn't been playing anyone that's like
he's just on an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah, but like for instance, like the Packers game he played terrible. The Lions game he was down by 17, and I'm like.
I actually didn't watch that game. I was at work. I don't even work that many days out of the week. I'm just always working during these games, so I just don't see the game.
And it's usually at night, right? Like they're in the like around because the games are usually on at like around.
Well, Sunday I work 3 to 8, and then in the week I usually work.
Oh yeah, that like the early afternoon to like the evening. Yeah, that's
so on Sundays
when the games are on.
Yeah, I picked up the Sunday shift because like in the morning on Sundays I usually just go to church and do some work, but then like it's like. 3 to 8. I mean, I'm not really doing anything. I might as well just like make some money on a chill work day in the morning. I like because like on Sundays it's not really that crowded. It's kind of boring, but it's like I'd rather be making money and being bored than like being bored and not making money. So it's like
that's actually what I did for like I got a job. I think this was like during COVID, like in the summer. I worked at a grocery store because I had like nothing to do during the afternoon, and I'm like,
it just keeps you busy.
3 to 9, I'll take it.
And like a chill day, you can just like fuck around with your coworkers and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well. Yeah, if you don't have a boss that's just up your
ass. Oh yeah, that's always the worst. Sometimes on Sundays the managers aren't even there, so that's kind of nice.
Oh man, that sounds awesome.
But the managers, they're only up our ass about like ages because you have to be 16 or older to work out by yourself at Vasa. Yeah. So like the 15-year-olds are all upset. I was on the phone with the mom, and she was actually not too mean to me, but she was just saying like, yeah, these 15-year-olds, they just want to get good at football, they want to work out, they don't want to do drugs and party. And in my head, I didn't say anything, but in my head, I'm like, you know what, like. If it was up to me, I'd be like, yeah, that's good for America. I'd rather have these American men working out than doing drugs and making TikTok.
Literally just blew my mind right there. Because, like, every time I go to the gym, like, every time you go to the gym, there's, like, 4 or 5, like, 15, 16-year-olds that are, like, just on the bench press, just trying to lift as much as they can. And they're just, like, screaming and shit. And I'm like, it annoyed me. But, like you were saying.
Better than them doing drugs.
If that's how you need to get your health out, then if that's how you need to like get everything out after a long day at school, go ahead.
Yeah, because think about it. I mean,
I'll be more sympathetic.
We're only a year apart, so like we kind of grew up in a similar era. Like when we were that age, like I don't think going to the gym was as much a part of the culture as it is now.
That too.
When we were 15, like not that many, unless you're like a football player. Nowadays, I feel like a lot of the 15-year-olds they want to lift and do that.
I wonder, like, do you think the obesity like has gone down though? I mean, maybe like since COVID, because that's the thing. Like, I feel like after COVID, you had 2 avenues: go be a health nut or sit your ass on the couch.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's more extreme than it used to be. Like people who are in shape compared to the people who are out of shape. Like it's like a lot of things. Like whether it's like politics or like economics or like physical attractiveness or like just like people's mindsets. It's always like this fucking big of a difference,
Yeah,
And today's since COVID, it's like everything's like split now.
literally,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, like, to give social media credit, like, it did spread awareness about everybody. Like, you got to get your ass, like, you got to look like this big guy, or like, you got to, get your health up. You got to start eating right, doing all this stuff. So
Yeah, so there's some good as long as like you have an algorithm that helps you in your life, like because some people just get like the weird like TikToks. Like it really depends on what your algorithm is.
that is a good, yeah. Well, although, like, it kind of, at least for me, like, my algorithm changed, like, the more I got interested in
Mine's
certain
good.
stuff.
Mine,
Like,
mine's good. Mine's mostly just like trying to better yourself and stuff, so it's good.
yeah, I get
Yeah.
like motivation or history videos, which I've gotten a
Those
lot
are both
more
good. I
into.
mean, it's better than like watching like these young girls just like dance around on TikTok.
Yeah, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I remember here. I can't remember how long this was ago, but like the TikTok CEO like had to get heard from like he had to like go to Congress and like talk about the app and stuff, and like just the way he was like putting certain stuff. Like, they asked him, like, they asked him, like, would you ever have your, like, 7 or 8-year-old children on TikTok? He's like, not here, but in Singapore it's legal. That was his
It's
answer.
a weird answer.
But it's like, how do you argue
In
that?
Singapore, it's probably just a bunch of engineering videos and like trying to get rich videos. And in America,
Probably.
well, I mean, you can curate that like later on, but when you initially download TikTok, I don't know if this happened to you. Did you ever have TikTok or no?
I've not really
Oh.
used it.
But did you ever have it or no?
I downloaded it that's the thing. Like, I technically downloaded
But
it,
you never
used
went on
it,
it,
but I
really?
never really went
Oh,
on
really,
it.
bro?
Yeah.
2020, bro. I would spend like 3 to 6 hours a day on it.
That was
It was bad.
YouTube is my big one I go on. a
Okay,
lot
YouTube.
more.
I go on YouTube. I'm actually trying to watch more long form videos than shorts because I'm trying to improve my attention span, and it's actually been nice because shorts, like, you get like a little nugget of information, then you get another, which is good. But like with the longer form, like you actually get to like hear a whole like story and thesis, so it's like different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because sometimes, like, I will do, like, I'll go on shorts a little too much to the point where I'm like, like, I'm kind of just watching a
You're just
couple,
like, yeah.
and then
It's like intellectual TikTok.
it is, yeah.
That's
But,
how I
like,
see it.
I get a lot of sports content too. Like, I've
That's
got
good. I got
like,
some sports.
literally, one of my shorts was like, why did Tyreek leave the Chiefs? And he was talking about, like, they were like, one of his agents or something was like going to the Chiefs, and like the Chiefs manager was like, oh, we'll take care of you, we'll take care of you, Reek, we'll take care of you. And then, like, immediately, like, I think after a couple weeks, they didn't do shit, and he ended up like, he was deciding Dolphins or Jets. And
That reminds me, the Dolphins were one of those teams I thought was going to make it farther.
I like,
They're young. They're young.
and
Though.
this is the thing with the
The
Chiefs.
Dolphins are
Like,
cooking.
everyone was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Tua's ass!" Like, the Chiefs easily won. Yeah, because it's like the people from Florida had to play in -8-degree weather. Who do you think's gonna win?
That's who. I think Tyreek Hill's from the South too. So like a lot of their players are like from like the southern region.
That is a
Yeah.
good. I mean, I guess Tyreek like adjusted to like when he
Yeah,
played
yeah.
with the Chiefs, but I did.
I don't know. Jalen Waddle went to Alabama. Jalen Ramsey, LSU, right?
Is Jalen Ramsey on the Dolphins now?
Yeah, I think he is. He's corner in the Dolphins, right?
I literally had
And
no
then
idea.
Raheem Mozart, who's on the Dolphins now from the 49ers. So they have they have talent. Like they're a good team.
True.
And their head coach is a friggin' meme too.
Dude, Mike Daniels is hilarious.
No, yeah, he kind of reminds me of like I feel like that's what Steve. He's like Steve as a
He
football
kind of
coach.
is.
He's like he'd be like
We'll have to
Steve.
let him know.
Yeah.
I remember.
They look up Jalen Ramsey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember what one of the reporters like earlier in the season asked him. She's like, "How did you like in that first half? How are you guys able to get your offense?"
He's on the Dolphins.
Oh, he's on the
Better,
Dolphins.
He is though. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Like, 'cause he was on the. I remember him on the Rams, and then I think he left for the Dolphins or something like that. But I wonder if like he left when it was the St. Louis Rams or the LA Rams, because that's two different climates right there.
Probably LA because they changed. They've been in LA for a while.
Yeah, like probably since like. I think literally either right before or right after Jared
He was on
Goff
the
got traded,
Jaguars,
that's
too.
when they changed.
He was initially on the Jaguars.
He was, yeah, and him with Blake. I don't know if it was Blake Bortles or when Trevor Lawrence got drafted. Like, you were like, this is gonna be the team, and then the Jaguars.
He left before Trevor Lawrence got drafted. I actually remember him better on
Yeah.
the Jaguars than on the Rams because he was a dog on the Jaguars.
He was really good.
Yeah.
I first when he was on the.
He was new. Yeah.
Maybe this is like by like the next team he goes to. Like, I remembered him on the Jaguars when he was on the Rams, and now that he's on the Dolphins, I remember him more on the Rams.
Yeah, just because recency bias, I'd say.
Possibly, yeah.
I
Like,
forgot he was even on the Rams for some
and he
reason.
was good on the Rams too.
Actually, never mind. I remember he was on the Rams. He was on the Rams that won the Super Bowl with the OBJ and
He has
Stafford.
that ring, yeah.
The one year the Chiefs haven't even gone to the Super Bowl this whole decade, if you think about it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was like that game. It was super close. It was super
No,
close.
yeah, Joe Burrow came close to winning a Super Bowl.
He came so, and I feel bad because I wanted Matt Stafford to get his ring. So that I was like, go Rams, like fuck the Bengals.
Because Matt Stafford, like, if you were to lose, it'd be a lot harder than Joe Burrow just has more time on his side.
Way more time, yeah. Like
I like both quarterbacks a lot.
not by a decade, but almost, right? Like Joe Burrow's won like 24, 25, right?
When he was in the Super Bowl, he was like 25. I think he's like 27 now.
Maybe,
So
yeah.
like 2 years ago.
Time flies, man.
But like, yeah, no, 2 years. He was like 25 when he played in that game, though. So he was still young.
But
He's still young now. I mean, he's like 27.
I don't
Stafford's
think...
like 35?
Yeah, 34, 35. He's getting old.
So they're like...
They almost beat the Rams. They were so close. Oh my gosh. At Ford Field, too. That would have been such a huge win.
Bro, low-key, Matthew Stafford looks younger ever since he left Detroit.
He kind of does,
Like,
yeah.
he was like a chubby guy. He looked kind of like... He didn't look well... Like, he was in Detroit, and then he came to LA, and he kind of had a glow-up.
True.
It's like, and they won a Super Bowl one year.
He did.
Yeah.
Although this season, it was weird this season. Like, I was, at the beginning, like, it looked like you were like, oh no, Matt Stafford's washed up. Like,
This year?
Yeah, when he was getting injured.
Oh, yeah, I kind of agree. Like, where's Stetson Bennett when you need him? Have Stetson Bennett just come in and lead him to the Super Bowl?
Dude, that'd be like a Colin Kaepernick moment. You put in your backup, he just takes over.
Stetson Bennett, like, is like, he's like, that would be literally a Stetson Bennett 3-peat right there.
Oh my god! Wait, because that was
been a rookie. He's still.
Oh yeah,
this is a rookie year. Yeah.
Is this his second year now, or this is going to be his second year the next year?
No, so the end of this full year was his rookie year, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the 2023,
Possibly,
the 2023 draft, it was like Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud were the top quarterbacks picked. But Stetson Bennett and Duggan were drafted, but they were in the later rounds. That was this year. Remember we were talking about that.
Yeah. Oh,
so this was Stetson Bennett's rookie year. He's like 25. Or he's like 26 and this is his rookie year.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
like, is he already going to be 27 next year? Like, jeez.
Dang, that's crazy, bro. He's already older than like half the quarterbacks that was in like the AFC and NFC championship game. But
hey, more
how old is
experience.
Stetson Bennett? Yeah, he's 26. I think this was his rookie year too.
Did he get it? Like, did he have a snap at all this season?
I don't know. Probably not.
He's got to get experience.
He might be second or third string. I don't know.
Well, wait, but who played? Oh no, it was Baker Mayfield this was last year when Stafford was getting injured. He went. I remember like what was it?
Baker Mayfield's underrated in my opinion. He's actually really good.
Dude, well, like it wasn't even like at the beginning of the year. Like they went 9-8. People were like, "Oh, Baker Mayfield's getting a little bit better." It's like his team's kind of helping him.
All the commercials made people think he was bad.
Oh, I didn't even see the commercials. Like
Well, I remember when he was on the Browns and he was in all these commercials and people. And then people were like, "This guy's been in more commercials than he has won games." It was like a popular thing. They were saying it is Baker Mayfield's rookie year. I think Baker Mayfield was drafted in 2018.
Yeah, dude, that's Caleb.
He was drafted ahead of Saquon too.
Oh yeah, and Saquon, his team just sucks, dude. They need it better. Fair. I mean, but New York needs to find their guy, like quarterback. Also,
Daniel Jones is the quarterback.
He was playing decent at the beginning of the year, so I was like, maybe
Drake May on the Giants would not be bad.
Ooh, wait, but do you think Drake May's going like 15, top 10? Maybe?
Oh yeah, Drake May's gonna be top 5.
Really?
Yeah, or top 10.
He got injured though. That was a big thing.
I know Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels are the 3 quarterbacks that's gonna be taken first.
I just like USC fell off so hard. I mean, I get Caleb.
People just seem to ride Caleb. I mean, I think he's good, but people like meat ride this guy way too much.
That's the thing. Like, and granted, he almost beat Washington, but like
he did win the Heisman, but like I don't know. At the same time, Bryce Young won the Heisman, so it's like
Bryce. Yeah, I mean, Bryce Young did play better in college.
He's not a bad team.
That's the thing. He just needs more time to like when the Panthers actually get good. Like I
can see Bo Nix being really good in the NFL.
Who would he go to though? I mean, but
I don't know because
is he going to be in the first round?
I don't know. I think the top 6 quarterbacks. I think the 3 quarterbacks, like I think Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels, they're all going to be top 10. But then I think like McCarthy and Bo Nix and Penix is kind of like
Penix just fell off a cliff.
I think it's going to be somewhere from like the first round to like the late second, early third round. Those 3 quarterbacks.
Maybe. I mean, McCarthy. Like the problem is like he just like
he doesn't have a throw zone.
Yeah, exactly. He did what he needed to, but like that's not enough to warrant a top 15 spot at least.
No. I think he'd be like in my prediction. I think McCarthy's going to be like the middle of the second round.
Maybe. I mean, I like part of me thinks you could either go like there'd be a low chance you could get like late first round, but I genuinely think it could be early second, maybe mid second.
I think somewhere from the late first to the early third.
Like, well, also,
So I think middle second round is where he falls in.
Like,
My prediction, at least.
like this dude's younger than me.
He's
like,
good, bro.
Like
Yeah.
I think it's the potential that people would draft him for.
Oh,
He's got
yeah.
so much time. Like Penix is like what 23,
And like
maybe
he's
almost
displayed
24.
good leadership. I mean, like he did lead him to the national championship. So
He did.
there was a really good team, but like he
Or
wasn't
did-
leader.
Or did what's his name? Blake Corman? I forgot his
Bro,
name.
Jim Harbaugh's the Chargers coach now.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
might be good, maybe. Dude,
Oh, yeah,
he interviewed with the Falcons, but I knew he was not going to.
I was actually thinking, like, I think the good destination for JJ McCarthy would be either the Falcons or the Raiders.
Dude, Desmond Ritter's out. They need somebody.
Oh, McCarthy could start at the Falcons. He's better than all the quarterbacks.
Yeah,
And the Raiders too.
Taylor Haneke played better than Desmond Ritter.
He
though.
threw 4 picks at the Bears game that Steve and I were at, though. It was so bad.
That was like the first Bears game that actually snowed.
And they did good. Like, they beat them by 20, and then Taylor Haneke threw like 3 or 4 picks, bro.
That was honestly, it wasn't even like, I think it was like the Lions game where I was starting to kind of have a thought in my head, but then it was really the Falcons game where I was like, Justin Fields might be our guy.
That's the thing. If you're drafting Caleb Williams, wouldn't you have to get rid of Justin Fields?
Well, yeah, you have to. Well, he's getting if you have to keep him, he has to get a max.
Yeah. And if you're drafting Caleb Williams, you have to get rid of Fields, right? Or could they have both?
No, they're gonna. If they battle out in training camp, they could trade one, but it's like there's no point. Yeah,
I think sticking with Fields is the best move.
You'd have. That's the thing, but
because they have good picks. They can build around Fields. I mean, Fields. I mean. And Fields has kind of been like a little shaky the first 3 games. That's because he's on a shitty team.
He was, and his
like,
he was on at the beginning a shitty team, and he got injured with that thumb injury. Like, and I mean, people were like you were saying with Caleb Williams, people were meat riding Baggett. Like he's not Baggett.
It's because he was D2. That's why
D2, and like he
was going crazy for D2.
But he threw. I mean,
I was kind of meat riding him a little bit too.
It's like he's throwing a lot of completions. He's throwing a lot of completions, but they're just checkdowns. They're checkdowns.
I think the story is what made people meat ride him.
That's the thing, and I'm like,
it's a story. Like Stetson Bennett has a cool story.
Yeah.
Cody Schrader has a cool story.
He's just too old. Stetson Bennett.
Who's the other guy that we're saying that has a cool story?
I know Cody Schrader's gonna get undrafted. He's so good, but he's just not explosive enough.
Oh, Brock Purdy too. Like Brock Purdy was the last pick. He's a cool story.
Mr. Irrelevant is literally his motto. Like
it's a lot easier to root for.
This is why he has a better story than Mahomes. He needs to win the Super
That's why
Bowl.
people like him better. Yeah, because what was I thinking about?
And McCaffrey, he hasn't won a ring yet either.
No, McCaffrey's actually younger than I thought.
How young is he?
He's 27.
I actually figured he was like 28 and 29.
Oh yeah, I thought he was older because I remember at Stanford. He's been really good for a long time. Like at Stanford, and him and Derrick Henry in 2015 were like insane in that college football season.
And now they're nuts. Like even Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry's leaving. He's done with the Titans.
Do you think McCaffrey's the best running back in the league? Or is it Derrick Henry? Those are probably some of the best.
Well, this thing, like, because McCaffrey, if the Titans had a great offensive line, then I would say Derrick Henry. But yeah, and even without a great offensive line, Derrick Henry still went off.
Do the Niners have a good offensive line?
I think so.
They probably do.
I know they have 1 or 2 guys that are like some of the best.
What sets McCaffrey apart is and Alvin Kamara.
His footwork.
They both can catch the ball like a receiver.
That too.
Same with Alvin Kamara too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like
Kamara, dude, everyone was shitting on Kamara.
They're like dual threat running backs. It's like a dual threat running back, right?
I was shocked though. Like, I mean, granted, the Bucks like did what they needed to get in the playoffs, but I really thought the Saints were gonna get in. Like their team was.
The Buccaneers surprised me when they beat the Eagles. The Eagles were kind of shit in the bed though.
That was never. I mean, okay, like yeah, they had the kind of the fall off at the end of the season, but like, oh my gosh,
they still should have beat the Buccaneers though.
You're like they didn't even get 10 points. They didn't even get double digits.
Didn't Jalen Hurts get like sacked a bunch?
He got sacked. He threw a bunch of bad picks. Like I don't want to blame it solely on him, but
I think the defense is to blame more than him.
The defense too, and like I feel bad because also. The Eagles dynasty might be over. Jason Kelsey's thinking about retiring. Lane Johnson, he did?
Jason Kelsey, yeah.
According to him or the reports? Because I know some of the
all over social media. I saw that he retired and he was like chugging beers and.
Well, the beers he was doing like.
I saw the headline that he retired. I thought it was official.
I just heard multiple reports, but I don't want to like. I'm waiting until like Jason Kelsey himself.
Jason Kelsey is the only thing I like about the Chiefs. I like seeing him just like drinking beer and getting all hype with.
That was so fun, bro. All the Swifties were like, no!
Yeah, because, like, bro, I'd rather see, like, Jason Kelsey just, like, drinking beer, being an American man, just getting hyped. I don't even dislike Taylor Swift. Like, honestly, like, I have nothing to say bad about Taylor Swift as a person. I just don't like that. hype around her. I think it's kind of annoying.
I mean, I think like that's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's the thing about it. Yeah.
Well, like I just kind of what always bothered me with Taylor Swift was like her music really wasn't that deep. I don't know.
It's all about breakups.
Like I mean, okay,
She has
okay,
talent,
but then
like,
again, like some guys, including myself, we
I mean, Drake
like
is kinda
Drake.
like, yeah.
Drake is the feet of like the male.
The male Taylor Swift. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see that.
I was actually thinking about that because, like, bro, it's kind of crazy. Like, the concept of celebrity is so weird because at the end of the day, they're just a human being. Like, they're
Yeah.
good. They're talented at what they do. Think about Michael Jordan, best basketball player of all time, unbelievable, arguably the best athlete of all time. This man was the most famous person in the world. And if you think about like someone who's like super good at engineering. Like, think about like the Michael Jordan of engineering. Nobody knows who that is. Like, they're not famous.
I have no idea.
Because like as a culture, it's a culture we celebrate like athletics and acting and music a lot more than we do like math and science. It's kind of interesting.
True. Well, I feel like it's like
It's like America though.
true. Well,
Yeah.
sports is like because
Yeah.
we're such like in a working like we're
Yeah.
always working and stuff. Like when we actually want to relax,
That's
we
fair.
watch sports. We
Or
watch
like a movie or
movies,
music,
We watch.
yeah.
We listen to music. Yeah. So it kind of like helps people like kind of escape in a way. So that's the thing, and like I feel like in a sense like with like Drake though, I feel like he kind of switches it up a little bit, and I feel like Taylor's starting to, which is kind of like why
Taylor Swift had her folk album,
She had a folk album? I actually
Yeah.
didn't know that.
so she switched up a little bit.
Was this the one she re-recorded? though?
Folklore, I think it's called.
Folklore like was folklore. Actually, I'm not too sure.
It's her album, her folk album.
Oh,
It was a couple years ago. It was in this decade. I just don't know. It was in 2022 or 2021. Maybe.
Was this like right after the whole Scooter Braun thing?
I have no idea. It was like all I know is it was within the last 2 maybe 3 years.
So I think like one of the big things that kind of like and I mean I get it, but like the story that kind of like helped her also in a way was like the executives are trying to take all of her rights to her music, and she's trying to fight back and get her music, and so
Yeah.
like she re-recorded everything so that
Like the copyrighted stuff.
like the copyright, and like she's like doing her music is like independent, and like it's a narrative.
She's a billionaire because of that, right? Or is it because of her brand? I don't know.
Probably all the above.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, but like that's the thing. Was she a billionaire before
No.
all this, or after this?
I mean, she was worth a couple $100 million, but she wasn't a billionaire.
Didn't Kanye do the same thing though? Like where he had that one big deal with Adidas, and then I mean, I know he lost a shit ton of money because of
Because of the
Kanye.
anti-Semitic stuff he said, yeah. But it was like the Adidas Yeezy thing. He had a deal with Adidas and the Gap, and then he also had like his own.
Yeah,
I don't know. Kanye. I think
Adidas
it was the Adidas deal. Yeah.
that made him like a lot of fucking money.
Same with
Like, he
Rihanna
already-
with Fenty. Rihanna's a billionaire
That
with Fenty.
Fenty deal was huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it actually reminded me of like I literally, this was another YouTube short. Charles Barkley was talking about how MJ told him, this was like when they both just got signed to Nike,
Yeah.
and Charles Barkley was thinking about like because he was like poor from like Georgia and stuff, so he was like
Oh, Barkley, yeah, he's from Alabama, yeah.
yeah literally, and he was he from Alabama? Like
No, yeah, he was, yeah.
I don't know why I thought he was from Georgia.
You're
Anyway,
literally one state off. They border
What?
they border each other, so like they're not too far off.
I sometimes
I
get
kind of wanted to correct you a little bit there. 'cause, you
You're
know,
good.
yeah.
Correct me if I get it wrong, please. We want to have accurate information on the
No,
podcast.
no fake news, as Donald Trump would say.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
Yeah.
but yes, and I sometimes get Alabama and Atlanta confused.
Oh no, Alabama and Georgia, they're kind of similar states. Like, I mean, they're both like the southern states with like the
Yeah.
Georgia's like kind of like, I feel like Georgia's like the Alabama with like a major city and is bigger.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like Montgomery was what Atlanta was like 100 years ago before it got like super big
Yeah.
and stuff. Like before all the skies.
Alabama and Georgia, both great SEC teams as well.
Dude, and that's what's making. I think we might have been talking
Yeah.
about this earlier, but like that's why. Oh my gosh, like there's the SEC is so hard. There's so many good teams. As a Mizzou
For basketball
fan,
or
like,
football or both? Maybe both now.
maybe both. Starting to be both, but like
In football, they kind of went down a little bit though.
it was the opposite. Well, and I'm literally just like
Yeah.
as a Mizzou fan, I'm just like thinking of the opposite of like the sports that happened. Like for football, like the SEC kind of went downhill a little bit, and we ended up literally besides Alabama and Georgia, we were the third best team in the
That's
SEC.
true. You guys were ranked higher than LSU and Ole Miss.
Yeah, and we lost to LSU.
You guys didn't play Ole Miss though, did you?
We should have. Like Ole Miss was ass, dude.
You know what's weird though is Ole Miss was like they shit the bed against Georgia, but they beat I don't know how to gauge how good they were because they beat LSU and they killed Penn State in the bowl game.
Didn't their quarterback not play, or so, like most of their like good lineup will playing.
Who for Penn State?
That's what I thought.
Oh, if that's the case, then that makes more sense.
Maybe
I didn't hear
I'm
about
not
that,
too
though.
sure, but like that's usually what happens in the bowl game.
I'd probably rank Ole Miss like 13 in the country.
Yeah, and maybe that's the thing. I think that like they just, and this is why I had like a bias against Florida State. No real test, like top 10 test.
I'd say LSU was their test.
Close, but Jaden Daniels has no help. And
I
besides,
mean,
his
he's got
receivers,
Malik Neighbors at receiver. They got
the two receivers.
they finished the year 9-3, but they also lost to they literally lost to they lost to Alabama, they lost to Ole Miss, and I think they lost to was it Georgia?
Yeah,
So they lost to some pretty good teams.
and well, but
Yeah.
that's the like.
Yeah, so
I
they
love,
don't-
and again, I love Mizzou, but we shouldn't have put 40 points up against them if they had a good defense.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think from Mizzou LSU rematch at the end of the year, Mizzou probably would have won.
Maybe, and
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot closer of a game. And we were
Yeah.
actually, I think we were leading in the first half. So like it,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I'm not gonna discredit LSU, but like I think like for Florida, but like there's just a next level team after LSU. That's when you get into the Oregons, the Washingtons, the Michigan's obviously the best, but
Yeah.
Georgia, Alabama, there's
Yeah.
like that level.
I'd say Mizzou was in like the second tier, like the top tier. The top 8 teams I had was in my first tier, like Michigan, Washington, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, Oregon, and Ohio State. That's like the top 8 number 1 tier, and then I think Mizzou is like the best of the second tier.
Yeah,
That's
like
kind of how I see it, at least.
I think honestly, like I'd put Penn State above us. Like
Really?
in full form, like they were really good. When Penn State's on, they're.
I wouldn't put Penn State in the first tier though.
Oh no, like right at the bottom.
Top of the second tier.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Oklahoma too. Oklahoma's up there.
Yeah.
Top of the second tier.
Well, maybe not next year because we play
Notre Dame's up
Oklahoma
there,
next
too.
year. And, yeah. Oh, Notre Dame. They've had.
They were in the second, probably like the middle second tier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were really doing good at the end of the season. Like they kind of came after that loss. I think after that loss to Louisville, they were like, we're done with this.
And they played Ohio State very good. They barely lost to Ohio State.
I literally like. I think we
Yeah.
were mentioning that game like that. Ohio State barely beat.
And they killed USC, but USC is just not that good. Like,
USC's just USC.
yeah, it's just like Caleb Williams is number 1. Like,
And I mean, like, maybe it's because of, like, the fact that everyone feels bad for USC because they're just dog shit.
their
but,
defense it's mostly just the defense, I think.
Like, that's the thing. And I mean, wait, so are the receivers good? I actually wasn't too sure about the receivers.
Their offense wasn't too bad. I mean, they had a Dorian Singer and Marshawn Lloyd at running back and receiver. So
Mhm.
they did have a couple of weapons. It's just their defense was so bad.
I mean, that's the thing.
I
Like,
think their defense was a huge liability. I mean, if think about it, if their defense was even like,
oh yeah, they would have. That's
their defense was a liability. I think their offense was fine. Like,
aren't they like top 10 last year?
yeah, no, they were a lot better last year because I think they had a better defense. I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like interestingly, like with like guys like to me, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, all of them, and you have to have great receivers to play really well.
Yeah.
But they like how much of it does it depend? Like if Caleb Williams got drafted, I mean, obviously with the Panthers, he's not going to do very good. But like with
Oh yeah, like if they didn't have the weapons, you're saying?
like if Caleb Williams did get drafted to the Bears, who have DJ Moore, and that's pretty much it. Chase Claypool's not.
Komet's a decent tight end.
Cole Komet could be really good. I mean,
Cole
he's
Kmet,
young
yes,
too.
man.
He's young, so I think he could be.
Yeah, because if you get Caleb Williams, you're not going to add Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like it's and everybody wants him to get drafted at that top spot. So you could miss that. I mean, I'm not like,
Somehow
this
Marvin
is-
Harrison Jr. ends up as 7th pick or 9th. But I think Marvin Harrison's
No
he's going to
way.
be top 5, top 3.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's the if we somehow gambled, if even we gambled into hoping we could get Marvin Harrison, and even if we trade up to like the 5th pick or something for our 2nd pick,
You'd have to be in the top 5 to secure Marvin Harrison. I think he'd get off the board at that point.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. Who else would we draft in the top 3 besides Marvin Harrison?
Actually, we should look up like what teams
Like
have the
draft
first picks and like where they would be a good fit.
who has the 2nd pick? Because I mean, obviously we have the first.
Because it all
Okay.
depends on the team's need, honestly.
Who else? Because the Panthers don't have a pick this year. We have their pick, right?
Panthers are kind of fucked now.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
If that's the case, like they're gonna be bad again. Oh my gosh, they need to pick up free. They'll have a ton of cap though. They just need a bunch of free agents.
Let's see who the first.
I mean, I know they fired their coach.
It has Caleb Williams going number 1. Caleb Williams is 6'1", 215. He's like the same height as us, but he weighed a lot more.
215.
That's pretty big for his.
Can he run? Like he's a
It's pretty
runner
big.
too, right?
He's just a fucking tank, bro.
Interesting. Maybe that's also why.
Washington Commanders number 2, Drake May. This is the mock draft. I could kind of see that though. They have Sam Howell.
Yeah,
they're both North Carolina guys. Sam Howell and Drake May duking it out.
I think it's just because Sam Howell's Asian. I have a little bias. I think, like, I genuinely believe. I don't think he's gonna be like their franchise quarterback, but like, I don't see why you don't keep him for now.
I can see the Commanders maybe drafting Marvin Harrison if they take Caleb Williams.
If we lose out on Marvin Harrison and they draft him and we don't have a good strategy, then the Bears like, oh my gosh.
The Patriots, I think the Patriots drafting Drake May or Jaden Daniels because Mac Jones sucks.
They 100% could get a Drake May or somebody.
Or Jaden Daniels, one of those two.
Yeah, where would Jaden Daniels go?
They have Marvin Harrison Jr. They have
I just don't see them drafting. Like I would like Drake May. I could just see Drake May being like, fitting in more with the Patriots scheme.
Malik Neighbors, who's the LSU receiver, number 6 of the Giants. Either him or the Washington receiver, Rome Duze, or how do you say his name? He's good too.
Yeah.
This one has J.J. McCarthy, number 7 overall. I don't know. I don't see that.
Which John? Wait. You might need to pull
to the Denver Broncos. Like he's going to learn behind Russell Wilson.
Dude,
that would be bad, actually.
They're benching Russell Wilson because of his contract. Like it's like a thing where if they bench him, like they don't have to like pay him the full amount or something like.
Would they start to J.J. McCarthy over Russell Wilson?
If they didn't have to pay Russell Wilson's shitty contract, yeah.
That would be trippy as fuck, because like I grew up watching Russell Wilson, and that's kind of weird.
Or they would do like a thing. I think that's the thing. He's so good on the season. He didn't even play bad this season. He just had 2 bad games. Like
that's interesting though, because McCarthy. I love JJ McCarthy, but I don't see him being a top 10 pick. I mean, that's dumb.
No way. Yeah. Like, is there another mock draft that would probably be a little more accurate?
Jaden Daniels, number 8. So they're drafting I'm not
JJ McCarthy over Jaden Daniels. Yes.
He's younger.
Wait, the JJ McCarthy. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
that was mentioned. Like that is his main thing. That is his main thing.
And the fact that he got a ring, but like Stetson Bennett got a ring, and he was like the 4th round. But he was so old too.
Wait, and you're saying in Georgia he had a ring?
He had 2 rings.
Yeah.
But he was also like old, and he was like not the main reason why they won. So there's a lot of factors you can consider.
I mean, kind of like if Georgia had gotten the top 4, he would have just been like Carson Beck. To me, is just a younger Stetson Bennett.
Brock Bowers is really good too.
Where is he gonna go if he gets drafted?
He's number 10, and him on the Jets would be pretty good.
Oh, is he like Brock Bowers is like he declared for the draft?
Let me look at another mock draft.
Did Brock Bowers declare for the draft?
Yeah, he's going to the draft.
Dude, so please, Aaron Rodgers, come back next year. Please.
Let's see this one. Number 1. This is an offensive lineman. No. Maybe. Actually, maybe. It's good Notre Dame offensive tackle. Mm-hmm. But I'd rather get Marvin Harrison Jr.
That guy would probably go to the Bears, maybe.
Caleb Williams, number 2. Number 3, Drake May. Number 4, Marvin Harrison Jr., the Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals need a receiver. Because Kyler Murray is good. I think if he just stopped playing Call of Duty and didn't get injured.
Jaden Daniels to the Falcons, that'd actually be a good pickup.
Even Caleb Williams to the Falcons would be a W.
Even Michael Penix to the Falcons would be a W.
Michael Penix, I mean, Michael Penix just had a great offensive line, but like, how, like,
Bo Nix, number 13 to the Raiders, maybe.
I want to see. Oh, maybe I thought Bo Nix though was one of those guys that was just going to get swept under the rug.
Would you rather draft Bo Nix or Michael Penix? That's the question. I actually think Bo Nix would be more safe because
he
doesn't get hurt the same way.
Well, I'm wondering like if Michael Penix played with an average offensive line, how would he do under pressure?
Yeah, because like he can run, but he can't run like a lot. I mean, like maybe like I kind of see him like a CJ. Well, what about CJ Stroud if he had an offensive line? That's
weird. CJ Stroud, like it looks like he does because he just sits in the pocket for like 20 seconds.
And Ohio, and you already know at Ohio State he had a good offensive line.
He did, yeah. I mean, like that's the thing. Do the Texans have a really good? I thought they did.
That's a good way to think of it because Bo Nix can actually run a little bit.
He could, and then and that's the thing. Like Michael Keon
Coleman.
A big part of I could.
Ooh, Keon Coleman on the Dolphins would be nasty.
What position?
The Florida State wide receiver who transferred from Michigan State. If he went to the Dolphins, that'd be nasty.
Their receiving core would be absolutely nuts.
Can you imagine Tua throwing to Keon Coleman and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle?
He'd be home. Like that would make sense.
Yeah, bro. He was too good for Michigan State. I don't know if you watched the Michigan State game in 2022. When
was this when they had Peyton Thorne?
Yeah, this was This was when McCarthy was a sophomore and they had like the helmet incident.
Oh,
there's that one, yeah. But Keon Coleman, like they had the opening drive they scored on Michigan. I got so excited, but then Michigan just destroyed them. But like Keon Coleman was like the best wide receiver on either team, I think, in that game. Like because who else did Michigan? They had Roman Wilson, Keon Coleman's really good.
Yeah, that Keon Coleman, I could 100% see going into the Dolphins. Maybe even like if he goes higher, possibly. Maybe.
He's gonna be in the first round. I could see him probably somewhere from 15 to 25, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, but if Jordan Travis didn't get injured, how far?
Bro,
could
Jordan
he go?
Travis, like he's kind of like Jaden Daniels, but like he's injured, so he's
What's he
not
gonna do? Like, is he? I mean, he declared, right? Or is he?
Yeah,
playing?
he'll get drafted probably.
I mean, but in like the second, third round, like I feel that's the thing. Like again, like I don't necessarily have like an unbiased against the university, but like and like their sports teams, I do think like and like I had said earlier, I think they needed like a top 5 test to really prove how good they were. But Florida State, but I do feel bad that Jordan Travis got injured. That did not.
If Jordan Travis didn't get injured, I think they probably would have made the playoff. If you think about it.
I mean, literally, they would have made the playoffs. They probably would have won the national championship. Michigan,
No, I don't.
Florida State. That would have been a good game.
I like Florida State, but I think Michigan probably still would have won.
That's the thing. I think. Well, would they? I think they could have beat Alabama.
Do you think Florida State could have beaten
Texas?
I actually think, bro, Texas. I thought Texas was gonna beat them.
Dude, Texas, like, I remember, well, it looked like it was over within the last 3 minutes, but I'm like, wait, Texas still has a chance, somehow. And then oh my gosh, if Quinn Ewers didn't choke that last throw, like, man, they could have, like, Texas literally would have beat Washington. That would have been the craziest comeback of all time.
Bro, Brock Bowers at number 15. I feel like he should be top 10. But it depends on the team's need, I guess.
Who would Brock Bowers
Bro, JJ McCarthy's literally all over the place on these draft boards. He's like number 7, number 16, out of the first round. It's like, where is this guy going to get drafted?
Wait, what does that one say?
16 to the Seahawks. Him on the Seahawks might not be bad.
Wait, so, like, what would they do? Like, is Geno's contract coming up, or, like, what would they do?
Geno Smith is just, like, old, and I feel like him on...
He's, like, 31, 32.
Really? He's been around for a minute.
Well, he's been on the Seahawks forever, but, like... And then he was on the Jets before that.
Wait, really? Is he actually...
He was always just a backup, yeah.
How old is Geno Smith?
He's, like, in his early 30s somehow.
Oh, 33.
33? Yeah, so he's...
I mean, McCarthy could, like, learn from him in a couple of years and start... I don't know.
But then Drew, like, what do you do about Drew Lock?
Oh, I forgot he's on the team.
You could... He is a decent trade piece. I mean, I just remember because he had that... Who did they beat? It wasn't... Was it the Eagles that Drew Lock led that crazy comeback? Who was it? I'm trying to remember the team. It was a good team, like, and they. I remember it. It was just because he hadn't played in like.
Is Jimmy Garoppolo still in the Chargers? Or in the Raiders?
He got benched.
Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell's doing pretty decent.
I know, bro. That's interesting.
The Aidens are coming up in this league.
Who's another Aiden?
Well, I was thinking of Hutchinson, but
Aiden Hutchinson, yeah. I was like, I couldn't think of him.
But
Aiden Ross, Aiden Ross is coming up in the streaming league, the Kick sponsorship or whatever.
But isn't he like with an EN I think it's
Ian.
Like Aiden.
It's about Aiden Ross or Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, well, I know Aiden Hutchinson and Ross or Aiden O'Connell both have the same name.
Oh, really?
Like the same spelling.
The sad thing is that Aiden Ross is probably more famous than both of them combined.
Dude, he probably is. Like streaming is so like this.
It's all the Gen Z and everybody.
That's the thing. The Gen Z, like it's it's crazy though. Like if streaming's the big thing, like and people just have a harder time paying attention. Why is streaming so big?
You mean like IRL streaming?
Yeah, well, like when, like for example, like how can people
like
watch Cake and Nat like sit in their room for like 3
Bro,
hours?
it's because like they do all these like childish things and it keeps it entertaining, probably.
Possibly, maybe.
Like because. I mean, Aiden Ross. I mean, actually, I don't actually like Aiden Ross for the most part. I don't have anything against any of these content creators because, like, I haven't met any of them, so there's no reason for me to dislike them. But if you watch some of like their streams, like they usually just keep it like high energy, so it's like there's always like shit going on. And it's always entertaining. It's not like they're just talking, and giving a lecture. Like I Show Speed. Have you seen his videos? He just yells.
Not really.
You know I Show Speed, right?
I don't think I know him.
The guy who's like gay for Ronaldo.
Maybe you might have shown him to me one time. I'm trying to.
Bro, he's like so funny. Like there was like in the streets of like London or England or something, and this guy was like talking about like God and like I agree. I mean like shit like preach the word of God, do your thing. But like I think he was talking to I Show Speed, and I Show Speed was like he was wearing a Cristiano Ronaldo jersey, and he was like talking about like is being gay a sin, and like the guy talking about God was like talking about like being gay is like can't procreate, so it technically is a sin, and then. I Show Speed got like all amped up. He's like, "Well, I'm gay for Ronaldo," and then he ran around with a bunch of his like fans like with his phone out and was like chanting Ronaldo and like being gay. and then like the guy was like talking about like the preacher was like saying like you see people of the city like if you guys don't follow God you'll end up being gay for an all. It's like that's just like the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'll have to show you the video sometime.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It reminds me though of
Like a false idolatry. Ronaldo's like Messi, Ronaldo, they're great, but it's like false idols, like idolatry.
But
Yeah.
interestingly
Yeah.
though, it reminds me of like when they Portugal lost to Morocco in the World Cup, and then it was this like little girl.
Oh, I've seen that shit. I've seen that shit. It's like cry.
Cry, Ronaldo, cry.
That's shit's crazy.
He got pissed. Oh my gosh! And I was like, I felt bad for Ronaldo, but I'm like, that's hilarious.
She's a savage for that.
Dude, what a beast. It reminds me of what's that movie that you showed me of the guy who's like the little kid who's like who was
Oh,
like
yeah.
the girl. It's like she's like the girl's like you what you want to see her boobs, and the little kid's like what I've seen boobs since the time I was 5 years old, bro. Like what are you talking about?
Bro, like grew up with like the virtual reality porn, bro. Like you already knew it wasn't up.
Dude, this is Gen Alpha in a nutshell, man. They're all gonna be like, I've seen this stuff since I was like right when I came out the womb. I pull up my phone.
Yeah, I think I wonder about that. I wonder like what Gen Z like. I feel like there's gonna be a group. There's gonna be like a group of Gen Z. I don't know how many people, but I think there's gonna be a group of Gen Z that just says like, "Fuck our phones. We're just gonna live and connect to God." I think it's not gonna be it's gonna be like a small percentage, but I feel like our generation could probably become more like because like the stuff that our generation has shown, it's like some people are just like, there's more to life than just like making money and like getting all these material things. Like a lot of people and all the social media and all this like twerking and stuff. Like, I feel like I don't know if people you talk to, but like I feel like in our age group, there's some people that are like, there's got to be more to life than that. We got to find purpose.
I was actually talking to someone about this
Yeah,
like
exactly,
maybe a
bro.
week ago,
Yeah.
and like they were saying like because they were talking about like their parents and how like they kind of went through like a whole spirit people back in the day, from what he said, like when he was talking with his parents, like our parents' generation, like it kind of was a similar thing where you're so focused on school and work and all this other stuff,
And like
you
money,
got-
getting a car,
and
getting
money,
all-
get it, the
getting a
American
hot girlfriend.
dream, the American dream,
And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like there's more to life than that.
But
That's
then,
the
like
thing,
20
yeah.
years later,
Yeah.
you're like, there is more. There's more to like. I need to take care of myself. I need to take care of my
Have some
family.
kids,
I need
yeah.
to take care of like all the above. I gotta take care of my shawty. I gotta take.
Yeah, because like nowadays it's crazy on the internet, like especially like with women too. It's kind of weird because I feel like with women it's more like we're not women, but like they're being told like have a career, like be a boss babe. Like the media is saying these things. I don't know what percent of women are doing these things, but the media is like pushing this on women to like be a boss babe and like sleep around in your 20s or whatever the case may be, and like Megan Thee Stallion and stuff. And then when it comes to men, it's like a different form of masculinity than back in the 50s and back in the day. Like back in the 50s, it was more like be a gentleman, be like speak like quiet confidence, kind of like the 1950s, like James Bond kind of confidence,
like the protector.
Yeah, like take care of your family, like just like be an honest, God-fearing man. Nowadays, it's like you gotta have all the Bugattis, you gotta have all the women, you gotta be like a loud, brash, muscular guy. Like it's like there's like different forms of the masculinity. I think you can have both of them, but I think like you have to kind of have a hybrid of the two. Like you can't be extreme in one area because like I mean like I feel like nowadays, especially like on social media, like with men, it's like you gotta have all the money, all the women, all the muscles. It's like it's good to strive for those things, but like you shouldn't feel like a piece of shit if you don't have all those in check.
It is.
That's like the thing about it. Yeah, it's weird.
Well, this is like a difficult thing. I figure out. We're probably gonna have to figure out like when we're older, like what's the balance of like like trying to chase your dreams, but also like you're saying like there's more to life. So how much time do I need to dedicate to my family? How much time do I need to dedicate to my job, to my faith, to like everything? Like in your day-to-day routine, like it gets, the more stuff you have, the harder it gets.
You gotta balance it out. It's hard because because one time you could be in school, but you want to make sure you have time to like focus on like a side hustle or a passion or even reading or like socializing. Sometimes people don't even socialize because they have like a huge project. Like it's like hard to do that, especially at our age, because we're just getting used to it. I think in due time, like in the next couple of years, like once we're like older and older, it gets easier and easier probably because we're just getting more used to it.
Maybe like you're saying with like socializing and stuff.
Just like balancing like working out, like just balancing like a schedule, like balancing like going to the gym, reading, learning a new skill, socializing, like balancing that stuff out will get easier in time.
Yeah. Well, I like from experience, like as a student, like seeing a lot of other kids as well, like being, especially when you get to college, like time management is just a shit show because you have to
Yeah.
focus on your classes and you have to spend more time on your homework and your studying outside of the
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah.
Then you have to do all that, and then you get you have your organizations or activities you do, like if you're on the football team or whatever.
You got to socialize and
Then and that's if
and
you
work
have
out.
if you have time to do that. I mean, working out, some people try to build in now, which is good.
Yeah.
And then, maybe I can socialize. But then people like also are playing more video games now. Like they're on their phones. That's phone
Yeah.
time.
The
Like
phone distracts you too.
which phone is such a big time waster. Like you were mentioning, I know you were talking about this earlier. Like phone is an absolute time waster, and like so that's and even like being on your computer, like if you if you
Well, it
are
depends on
trying
what
to
kind of.
study and like
Whenever I'm on the
it's
computer,
distracting.
I only really use the computer for productive stuff.
Mhm.
I don't-
Oh,
I ne- I
but it's
never-
easy to get distracted though.
For me, no. I mean, it depends on the person, but for me personally, on the computer, like, I just view it as like a work vessel. I don't view it as an entertainment vessel.
Mm-hmm. Like or
The phone, yeah, the phone, yeah.
is it because
Oh.
like you on the computer you only download the apps that like you need to have to be able to do work?
It's just honestly just because like whenever I go on the computer, it's because I'm doing work. That's like I just like that's my identity for it.
Yeah.
I think it's it's like my identity of it. Like my identity for the computer is like doing work. I mean, I've watched some YouTube on the computer, but like it's more of a phone or TV thing for me for entertainment.
That's the thing. I think I'm
If I have a phone and TV, why do I need to watch on the computer? I can just do work on the computer.
true.
That's kind of how I see it, at least.
Dude,
Yeah.
well, that's interesting. Like, that's what I kind of do more with my phone. Like that, like I'll try to not use my phone except like for YouTube and stuff. Like,
Oh,
but
yeah.
other than that, like TV, obviously, I'm gonna watch TV for entertainment. But for like the phone, like my computer, I do go on it. Like I try to do some productive stuff, but then like I'll like literally, I could show you after this. Like I have tabs open, like to check my email, to go to YouTube, to do other stuff, and but on my phone, I'm like. I only need to open this app, this app, this app to like to like do school stuff or like do like for like I'm in a fraternity, so that type of stuff, like all this different stuff and other organizations that I'm in. So that time is dedicated to the phone, but after that, I'm good. But
That's fair. How long have we been recording for?
we're at an hour, I think.
Just an hour?
I know, like when I think
An hour and 6 minutes. I thought we were an hour and a half, so we haven't done as long as I thought.
I
actually.
checked like 15 minutes. Yeah, like like when like
So
I
that's
kinda
where the
looked over.
recording button is. That's
Yeah.
where it tells you. Okay.
That
I'm like in the middle of the video. Like, I usually just like never check, but like yeah.
Yeah, like I kind of leaned in a little bit at one point, and I was like, "We're only at like," and this is like 15 minutes ago. I'm like, "We're at 50 minutes? Like, what? It feels like we've been here forever."
It's been a good quality conversation for that long, honestly.
That's why I love
Yeah.
like the middle of the podcast because we just get so into it. Like
Yeah.
after we break the ice and stuff, then we just get in the middle. It feels like it's just a normal conversation.
That's kind of funny because I don't even think we gave our prediction. My prediction is the 49ers are going to win by 3.
Oh yeah, right. We didn't even give our.
We
Well,
talked about the NFL a good amount though.
we did.
So,
Oh,
like, we
college
didn't neglect-
football.
yeah,
Like we talked a little bit about basketball, other stuff too.
A little bit about basketball, yeah. A little bit about like idolatry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you said what's like the score you got?
Oh, score? I think. So the 49ers do have a good defense.
Mhm.
27-24. My
Mm.
prediction.
I-
Niners win 27-24.
It's a solid score. You know what?
I'm thinking of maybe a little higher prediction, but like I think the Niners could hold the Chiefs to 24.
I feel like because I want to go with
Yeah.
I was gonna go with the similar score, but I don't want to take your exact.
Yeah, no,
score,
you don't
so
want to change. Yeah.
Let's go. I'm gonna go 30-27. 34-27.
Okay. Those are both.
49ers.
I think those are both pretty reasonable predictions.
So all of the
Yeah.
49ers under 7 winning by a touchdown. So
Yeah, I can see the 49ers.
if I felt like
If
betting.
the 49ers won by over, if either team won by over 10 points, I'd be surprised.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
this is gonna be a close game. Like, well, and again, and
But then again, Michigan did destroy Washington, which is kind of
I mean, but and
yeah.
but the difference
That's
is
different
that
sport,
Michael Penix had never been to a national championship. Mahomes had been to the Super Bowl like it's the back of his hand.
That's fair. Neither did McCarthy, but McCarthy went to the playoffs the last 2 years, so he had experience
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing. He had experience
in the
but, like,
playoff, but not in the yeah. So he had
Yeah.
he had more
and
experience.
even the national champion. Like, if he had played well, he would have been at least in the first round, like a guarantee for the national.
Oh yeah, if he had like better stats, you're saying?
If he had better stats.
Yeah, I think it's safe second round safe
Wait,
for him.
Corb didn't run like 150 yards.
I mean, actually, if you think about it, if he does good at the combine, that might boost his draft stock.
Maybe he's probably going to be running every day, training for it. But
Because
yeah,
I feel like some NFL players like the combine really boosts their stock.
yeah. I mean, and True. I just think like and like the difference like with a JJ McCarthy and Mahomes, like Mahomes is experienced and I like that's the thing. I'm not a fan of like I again like you were saying with other celebrities, I don't know him personally. He does like I watch quarterbacks, he seems like he is like, a good solid foundation of
Oh
like a
yeah,
family life and other stuff. But I think he's just a punk on the field.
he
So
does seem like one. Like he bitches to the refs a lot.
does. And then like literally, and like again, I didn't want him to feel like hurt or anything, but when Jadavion Clowney's headbutt him, I was like, stay down.
Was Tom Brady ever really like that on the field? I can't remember. He was like a crazy competitor, but I don't think he ever like complained to refs, did he?
I did well, like not the refs, but when he lost, like he was kind of a baby about it. Like I remember
Yeah,
again,
he's so competitive. Yeah.
another short, like again, and like I literally all my shorts are just like NFL players talking about like their football experiences, like a couple of them, and
I have so much Tom Brady on my shorts. It's crazy.
hey, yeah, I had a couple, and then I stopped. I was like,
It's all about his killer mentality. I put it in the group chat actually.
well, yeah, he does. He always talks about that mentality, and like, and that's the thing. And it's interesting, like when he talks about, because I think he does have like that type. Like
Oh yeah.
one of the things I saw was like him.
He was
little
always
bit
an
off topic,
underdog.
but yeah, but like he mentioned, like he's like, I don't get why people like are friends on the field. Like I love Peyton Manning. He's one of my favorite
I
guys.
saw that shit,
I've only
yeah.
been to a dinner with him like twice in like 25 years. But then like so for Tom Brady, like when and Ryan Fitzpatrick was talking about this, like he's like that guy just I cannot stand that guy because when we after like when he was on the Bills, the Patriots just kicked their ass over and over again, like for the next 5-10 years, and then finally I think it was
Did
like
they like
10.
send his contract and then he's like, "You're sticking with that motherfucker,"
Yeah.
or something?
And then, like,
Yeah.
in that 10-11 season, Ryan Fitzpatrick finally beats him, and Tom Brady immediately just takes his helmet and walks off the field.
He's like, "I lost to this fucking guy."
Literally. And Ryan Fitzpatrick's like, you don't even give me the respect. I'm shaking my head at the end of the game.
Dude, I feel like Tom Brady went from like America's villain to America's hero. Like I feel like in the Patriots, America hated him, but now that he's retired, people like love him.
True. I mean,
Yeah.
when he won that Super Bowl, that
With
like
Tampa too.
I was gonna say this Tampa because like I mean the Patriot I just remember 2019, 2020, every time you just saw a tombstone with the Patriots logo on it. And it said 20 to 29. Every single thing I see on social media. And then like finally with like 2000 like 21 or 22 when he beat Mahomes in that Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
2021, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. 2021. Like that was his redemption. That truly was his redemption. But
I just remember on SportsCenter, like all like I think it was like Max Kellerman or maybe Skip Bayless, one of those guys. In like the middle of the 2010s, like they would always be like I think it was Max Kellerman mostly. It's like Tom Brady's washed, Tom Brady's washed. Then he wins like 4 more Super Bowls. It's like, yeah, this guy's really washed, isn't he?
in the mid 2010s,
Yeah, they were saying he's because he was in his mid-30s.
even I mean, actually, that did happen to Peyton Manning when he was on the Broncos.
Maybe the mid to late 2010s, but like you know what I mean. Like he still won a lot of Super Bowls in that era.
I did think like you wondered like when like especially like in the last couple years the Patriots dynasty you were wondering like how long are they this was
Yeah.
like the Bulls situation the 98 year like how long can this team go?
Like when they I think like from 2015 to like 2017, like that's when they were like after they beat the Seahawks, you're like, and then once they went to the Super Bowl against the Falcons, you're like, can they go to the Super Bowl more than this? Like they've been to a lot of Super Bowls.
Which you're talking about the Patriots?
Yeah, so the Patriots like from 2005 to 2015, they didn't even win a Super Bowl, which people
True.
forget.
What from 2005 to 2008?
2015, they didn't win. So like
They did it?
no, yeah.
Oh
So
wait, but they
people
had
forget
that.
this.
He had that undefeated season
But
where
they lost
Eli
to
Manning
Eli.
just kicked their ass. Or was that that was the helmet catch too?
No, yeah, 2008 and 2012, they both lost to the Giants. Eli both times.
Oh my gosh, that is
Did you
hilarious.
see that clip of Eli Manning like roasting Tom Brady in rap?
I've never seen.
Oh my
that.
god, I gotta show you that shit.
Oh, you'll have to show me after that. Yeah, 100%.
No, that shit's hilarious. I already said, but he was like saying some shit where like he's like Tom Brady's the GOAT, and he's like I beat him twice. I don't know. I'll show you. It's fucking hilarious. But like he just roasted Tom Brady. It was so funny.
Because that's the thing. Like nobody, like you were saying, like Eli Manning and Peyton Manning. Like obviously Peyton Manning was a way better individual
They
quarterback.
have the same amount of rings though.
They have the same amount of rings. But then again, like it brings up like, is Robert Ory better than MJ because he has 7 rings?
I gotta show him this. Oh, here we go. I can show the audience actually. Or should I?
I mean, maybe if it. See if we get copyright.
You ready? Go ahead, Ephesians. Eli Manning.
That's at the Pro Bowl.
Bars.
That's like hilarious, man.
Dude, he's got that flex. He literally beat this man twice.
And then Nick Foles beat him too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick.
He literally had that 1 year where he was going off, and he just fell off a cliff.
That's really scary.
Like, I had no idea Nick Foles even had a chance at winning a Super Bowl, and then he just came out of nowhere.
Big Dick Nick.
Big.
That's what they called him.
That's a funny nickname. There's like, you know, I was thinking about, I can't remember when I was talking with somebody else about this like a couple weeks ago or a month ago, something like that. And it was about like, when you're like with your nickname, like some of the athletes that have the best nicknames, like you don't even mention them by their regular name.
Oh,
like
yeah.
for instance, like who calls Magic Johnson Irvin?
Yeah, Magic Johnson. Yeah.
It's always Magic. It's always Magic. But I mean, like, yeah, I guess with Michael Jordan, you know, that they sometimes call him Michael Jordan, but everyone's just MJ. It's MJ.
Yeah, like LeBron and Kobe, like they have nicknames, but you usually just call them LeBron or Kobe. Like
True. I mean,
Yeah.
Mamba sometimes. Mamba a little bit.
Like, I've
switches,
never
though.
called LeBron King James. I always just call him LeBron.
Yeah, he's just LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah, King. Like, I guess those would be more like if they're like doing something. Like if you're like if somebody's going off like for instance like Kobe when he dropped 81, like the people weren't. I mean, like some people were like, you know, that's Kobe, but people were like Mamba mentality.
Did Tiger Woods have a nickname, or is it just Tiger Woods?
Oh no, it's totally a nickname. I think it was. His name was like, yeah, like not Irvin, like with Magic
No.
Johnson, but it was like it's Earl or Earl Woods. Like
That's sad though.
I think he was something, but he wasn't like Tiger was a nickname.
Really?
It was his middle name.
Tom Brady's TB12, right?
Is he?
So,
I thought he was just Tom. I mean, everybody's just like Tom Brady.
well, TB12 is like a. I mean, Cristiano
It's-
Ronaldo they call CR7.
Yeah, it was like or MJ.
Does Messi
like-
have a nickname? I don't even think he does.
He's just that's the thing, but he's
Messi?
Leon is his first name, but he's just Messi. I mean, it's not like
It's his last
it's
name.
an unofficial nickname, but like yeah, like if
Will the Still Chamberlain?
the still yeah, or like you just it's like Wilt, you know, Wilt Chamberlain. Occasionally I see Chamberlain, but
Is Luka Doncic called Luka Magic?
is he?
So I hear announcers call him Luka Magic.
He's
Or like Luka
is
the
he gonna
Don.
be the next match? Luke. Oh, I have seen Luka the Don. Yes.
Luka the Don goes hard though.
That is a great nickname.
Yeah, that goes hard.
Didn't somebody else have like a nickname the
Does
Don?
Joel
like
Embiid have a
Don
nickname?
or
Or
something?
is it just like, oh, the process? Yeah.
I thought that was just that whole Sixers team. They've talked about the process, and their team
We're still in the process right now.
They're still and their team changed like 20,000
Oh,
times.
I thought the process was literally him. I didn't think it was the team.
That's what, or I knew they talked about like the process era, like, anything with Joel Embiid. Like it was mainly tied to Joel Embiid since he was basically their franchise player for
Bro,
the next
that's
like 10
hilarious.
years. But like the process was like even like going back to like
Ben
Evan
Simmons.
Turner and
Ben Simmons was a part of the process.
yeah. Well, when Ben Simmons was actually going off, what happened?
Does he even have a nickname? Ben Simmons?
He's Ben Simmons, but he's a joke on
I feel like
on the Nets. He's a trash can.
He doesn't have the killer mentality.
Maybe he got too comfortable. I don't know. Maybe like he had a huge because some players you'll see that like instantly that comes to my mind like Fred VanVleet. He's playing okay, but like as soon as he got that contract.
Oh, really? He came out of nowhere though.
I'm good.
He was undrafted too.
Well, but when he was on the Raptors, he was going off. But
Yeah.
like now, like that he got that huge extension.
Oh,
he's like,
really?
you know, I'm relaxing.
That's
I'm
interesting.
good.
You'd think he'd keep it. He was undrafted, so you think he'd keep that mentality, but yeah, money. Yeah.
I've seen that before. It probably even makes you more like when you like.
He worked
go
extra
from
hard. So
0
he's
to
like,
100.
I'll chill now.
Literally, like from 0 to 100, you're like, damn, you know, what happened? But because like it'd probably give you a bigger motivation. Like once you actually get the money, like you're like,
I can't. I gotta stay
it's such
here.
a different, yeah,
Yeah.
like, or maybe in a way, but like
And you're already used to the habits too.
there's like probably it probably works in a parallel like the path like one guy will be like I need to keep this money like or like you know I need to keep that mentality I'm gonna continue to play hard and then you
Yeah.
got the other it's like I've got my money my family I'm good.
You know, Tom Brady actually took like a bunch of pay cuts throughout his whole career.
He did. I know
Yeah.
Dirk did like when I forgot who they got, but he took a pay cut to get like one of the big guys, and then it didn't end up working. But like that,
Tom Brady like Phil. Sorry to interrupt you.
oh, you're good. You're good. But, yeah, I was comparing to like another player that was like one of the greats that would take like a pay cut to better his team.
Who? Oh, Dirk. I didn't even know about that actually. I could see that though.
Yeah, but Tom Brady's worked. Dirk, They got
They got one.
I think they did it for like not Rajon Rondo, but like a player like kind of in that caliber, and they like, oh my gosh, it did not. I felt bad for Dirk because he literally took that pay cut for no reason.
Have you seen those clips of like Gronk and Julian Edelman just fucking around?
Don't they have like a podcast?
They have something going on. But
I've seen Julian Edelman. He always just talk like I've seen like multiple like literally like a couple shorts and like some of the podcasts. Like he talks about like all like Bill Belichick's mentality and it's just.
Bro, I like Julian Edelman. He's just like a cool guy.
He literally like he seems like very personable. Like you got like either because all of the personable guys, like the guys with personality in the NFL that retired, they went to do podcasts.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Everybody else is just making just
Same with the NBA, even you could say.
True. I found out Carmelo Anthony has a podcast.
I know Paul George has one, right?
Does he? Oh, he does.
He's
Pat
good.
Benz is hilarious.
JJ Redick has one, of course.
Oh, that one, yeah, I always watch that one.
I don't know.
Go to.
Carmelo Anthony, I never really thought of him as like a big personality guy though.
No, yeah,
He's like chill though.
Well, he's that guy that's like I don't know how to describe him, but like because like there were so many times like he always thought he had that star mentality even after like with just because, and this always bothered me because when he got traded to the Knicks, he could have just literally he was going to go there anyway, but he wanted to get traded there just to get an extension. And they gave up so many young guys just so they could get Carmelo, who would have went there anyway in the next couple months, just for more money.
I was wondering does J.R. Smith have a podcast?
He has to.
That'd be funny.
He's so funny. Oh,
even Mike Tyson just smoking a blunt. That'd be the best.
Dude, if any podcast that JR is on, he's got the Henny in one hand, he's got the blunt in the other.
Him and Mike Tyson would be interesting.
Well, does Mike Tyson still do hotbox? Hotboxing?
I just think Mike Tyson's hilarious.
If not, because he had who is Mike Tyson's guest? It was the ex-NFL player. He played for the Jaguars, Bears, a couple other teams.
What position? I don't know.
He was like an offensive or defensive lineman or something, but he left. Like he wasn't super prominent.
I don't think
he was just like Mike Tyson's friend, but
really?
He left. But then they beefed and he left. So
really?
Literally, so I think if Mike Tyson's still doing hotboxing, he needs another guest or another host.
That reminds me because I think Ryan Garcia was on the podcast with Mike Tyson, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Was Garcia smoking a blunt too?
I have no idea.
I feel like
he's old enough to, I guess.
Almost every. Oh yeah, but and I mean you can in this day and age.
But in boxing, are they drug test you in boxing?
That I don't know, but but specifically that's for boxing.
And you might not. That might be kind of risky for boxing.
But that's as I was thinking, maybe Mike Tyson did that. But Mike Tyson just did.
Unless he get the marijuana out of his system in time for the fight. Oh.
Maybe, but that's the thing. If you're because it's two different. You're boxing. You're just trying to smack. You're just trying to punch a guy, and after you're just that's one point. A couple.
Oh, after it looked like it seemed like Errol Spence. I think he was smoking a blunt.
Yeah, but it's just interesting. He
got cooked by Terrence Crawford. He got destroyed.
Terrence Crawford was supposed to fight, but then they postponed it or something against.
Recently?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I forgot who
he remember he just absolutely destroyed Errol Spence in this most previous fight. Yeah.
You need to keep up with UFC more.
That's boxing, but
or boxing. Yeah, sorry.
I prefer UFC, but for boxing it has to be a big event. For UFC, it just has to be a good fight.
Oh, true.
Well, that's the difference.
But you can Dana White just makes these events
exactly.
Happen. It's every UFC venue is always packed.
It'd be very interesting to see what happens with boxing in the next 5 or 10 years. It's in a sink or swim kind of spot right now.
I wonder who the president is because I don't think Don King's still the
president. No,
there's
a bunch of different organizations, which kind of makes it confusing. The UFC is this is the UFC. This is kind of like the NBA or the NFL, where this is the top league. In boxing, I guess top rank, maybe.
Maybe
they have a couple different things though.
The big thing is boxing's less corrupt than it was 30 years ago.
Maybe that's why it's not as good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, but Mike Tyson, there have been there was so many times where there was supposed to be because they there were certain people with especially when the boxers would work with other organized crime groups and they would talk about who they would basically pick who was gonna fight this person and this person based on who they thought would be the most marketable or make the money. I mean that's a little bit in the case of boxing now, but it's a lot more I think they're genuinely trying to get a good fight going.
I think the UFC is like that. I think it's more the corrupt and the scoring. I think I've mentioned this before. It still pisses me off to this day. The Alex Pieta Jan Belkovic fight. I don't know if you watched that fight. It was like a light heavyweight fight.
I don't think I watched that fight.
Bro, Jan Balkovic was like, it was killing him on the ground. He had the upper hand most of the fight. Alex Pierre got a couple shots in, but like for 75% to 80% of the fight, Jan Balkovic was in control. But they gave the decision to Alex Pieta because Alex Pierre is a bigger name. At least that's what I think.
Is that like? Because I mean, there have been a couple case like. At least from the UFC fights I've seen, like I thought they were relatively fair, but maybe not.
Well, I mean, at least like from what I observed, and then my coworker even agreed with me. I was working at AT&T sales at this time. We talked about it. We're like, yeah, that decision was fucking stupid. So like he agreed with me. So maybe I was onto something. I don't know.
Well, like you guys know much more about the UFC than I do. Literally, that's
it's
what
fun to watch. I like watching. I've only gotten into it recently. I'm not an expert by any means. I only got into it like the last year to 2 years.
I remember we did watch that. Like, it was the Ferguson fight. Who else were they?
You left before the main fight though. It was late.
Who was
Leon Edwards, Colby Covington? I left too before it ended.
Yeah, I did. That's the thing. Like I knew them, but I wasn't dying to see the fight. I actually wanted to see Ferguson's fight more.
That was actually kind of yeah. Paddy Pimblett beat him.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was bad. Ferguson was getting his ass kicked.
David Goggins was yelling his ass off about it.
Dude, he always was yelling about it. He was like, I mean, what else though do you expect?
Well, Tony Ferguson has to retire. He's lost like the last 7 or 8 fights, and he's like keeps getting CTE more and more.
And
so
he's
it's like
35, 36.
Yeah, like at this point, like he should just retire and keep his money. Like it's gonna do him more harm fighting.
Yeah, I mean, some of the wait, John Jones retired, right?
I don't think so. He might have one more fight in the works.
Maybe. Like, that's the thing. Like, some of these older guys, they're still going.
John Jones is still a tank. Like, the thing about the difference between Tony Ferguson and John Jones is that John Jones was the one giving people CTE, and Tony Ferguson was the one getting CTE. Yeah. It's like the difference.
It's a simple breakdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, that's the thing. John Jones, like, and he also... I feel like he has more of like a drive to fight because he was like a born fighter, so he's always like Tony Ferguson.
I think they both are, but like
yeah, but I mean Tony Ferguson, like he
his defense is not good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I mean, I think like and he probably had a lot more drive when he was younger, but I think now like literally watching that fight made me think like Tony Ferguson just kind of is like done with fighting in a way. Like he's just not as checked.
I mean, he had a great career. Like before he lost like the last 7 fights in a row, I think his record was really good. So.
Maybe like
if you want, I mean, honestly, if you think about it from this perspective, if he keeps fighting, it's going to hurt his legacy more than help it.
I remember like this is and Jeremy. I watched like I can't remember what it was. Matt Barnes's podcast, and like Jeremy Lin was on there because he was teammates with Kobe, and this was like when Kobe was like in his mid-30s, and Jeremy Lin kind of put it in a way where he was like. Kobe was just kind of in that position where because this was like when he was like getting injured and he was getting frustrated with everything. Like he was like. It was 35-year-old Kobe trying to play like 28-year-old Kobe. Like he was trying.
Yeah, like he was going crazy.
Like, but he knew he could play at that. He still had like some of that level in him, like where he could play at that level. But his body was just failing him, and it was just it's got to be frustrating. Like when you're like. And LeBron is so lucky he hasn't had this happen. Like with a lot of older guys, like your body starts to break down. You're not as good as you once were. Tim Duncan had that situation where like he got blown by like Russell Westbrook.
Jordan or not really?
No, well, because I mean he was still doing decent on the Wizards, but he kind of came back because like he wanted to. But
he was older, but he wasn't like worn out. He was just older, so he wasn't as like good.
Well, oh wait, no, you're right. I'm wrong because yeah, he was training like in the off season like vigorously to be able to like get back to like at least somewhat that level to try to get the Wizards in the playoffs, but.
Seems bad. I mean, he literally retired 3 times.
He did. Well, in the Last Dance, they don't even talk about his Wizards career, and it wasn't like he wasn't nearly as good. But like for being like 39, he was scoring like 20-something points a game. Like his efficiency wasn't bad. Like,
and he was an all-star, wasn't he?
I think. Well, I can't remember it in his first 2 years, but the last year Vince Carter was the all-star, but he gave it to Jordan since it was his last year. Yeah, so
he was averaging plus 20 points a night at 38 plus. Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
And he would have had a buzzer beater if it was which guy like did it? Somebody got fouled like in the 3. Like Jordan had like a nice like turnaround fade, but yeah, somebody did something like stupid with. Oh no, it was Jermaine O'Neal who fouled. Jermaine O'Neal fouled somebody from like the 3-point line and ended up winning the game. Yeah, so it was like that was dumb, but like yeah, like Jordan, like you were saying, was another example of a guy who. Really trained to get back. Not even like I don't even think he wanted to be like in his prime, but he wanted to be able to play at a competitive level, and just like his body was failing him, and he kept getting injured. So like, It's just like, especially like for a lot of NBA players, like again, I'm like LeBron's still going.
Well, I give LeBron, actually reminds me that I give LeBron credit because I feel like LeBron he altered his training so he'd be better equipped when he's older.
Maybe that probably helped too.
Like he changed his game a little bit. Like he's more like he still dominates the ball, but he's like passing more. I don't think he's playing as much. I feel like he slimmed down a little bit. He's shooting more 3-pointers. He's not driving as much.
He actually
So he changed his game, I think, a little
I
bit.
mean, I think Jordan though was more of an outside shooter when he was on the Wizards, but like
Yeah.
like you were saying, he's shooting more from the outside. He
Isn't driving as much, I don't think.
isn't driving.
Yeah.
Like once in a while, you'll kind of see like LeBron just put his head down. You're like, he's going for it. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
his assists have gotten. He's had a lot more assists.
And is he playing less defense or more defense? I don't know.
I have
Maybe-
maybe less. Like obviously less than in his prime, but like
Yeah.
but then the Pelicans literally. It was like that Lakers game against the Pelicans. It was like 140 to 122. And granted, the scoring is changing,
the,
but
the thing that's funny is that
ridiculous.
dude, I think did you see that rant that Stephen A. Smith had about Zion Williamson?
I didn't, or about like when he was about like because of his whole lust thing.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even about the loss. It was just like about like the fact that he was like LeBron was way better. Like he's like LeBron James is 38 years old. You're 23 years old, and LeBron is in way better shape than you. This is like it was just fucking
I
hilarious.
mean, it's kind of true.
No, it's true. Like LeBron's got 15 years on Zion, but you think Zion's the old man, LeBron's the young guy. The way they're playing.
But he was like
Yeah.
LeBron's still like keeping more in shape. Zion's just getting fatter. I mean, I think Zion's trying to like he seemed like he slimmed down more, but we'll see. But it does.
He's still young. I mean, the thing about Zion, he's only 23 years old, man.
He's got time.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But it does remind me
Yeah.
of like when like Stephen A. Smith was also saying like because they were like this was another LeBron MJ debate, and he actually kind of put it in a good way where he was like MJ like beat the Cavs who were super good. He beat the I'm trying to think like he almost beat the Celtics. He like in
What
his
years? This early years?
yeah like in his early career. Then he like lost the Pistons twice. Finally beat the Pistons. Then like in his first championship beats the Lakers. It with Magic.
Yeah.
Beats
Trailblazers.
with Clyde, then retires, comes back, barely loses to the Magic, who would like with Shaq and Penny would have probably been the best team if they had both stayed healthy and Shaq didn't leave. But
Oh, in 95, I thought they lost to the Knicks, but I can't remember.
no, they lost to the 93 was when they lost.
He
to the
beat
Knicks in Game 7.
He beat Barkley as well before he retired, though.
Yeah, well
That's crazy.
yes,
Yeah.
the Suns beat Barkley, who was also very good, and the Blazers, then retires,
Yeah, and played
comes
baseball.
back, played baseball, barely loses to the Magic, beats the Jazz twice, and then
The Sonics
and the
as well.
Sonics with the glove.
Well, that reminds me. I saw this one street interview a while ago, and like there was like LeBron Jordan debate, and like they were going at it, and this one guy was like, "Think about it from this perspective. If you're going to your girl's house and you get lucky 6 times out of 6 times, or would you rather go to your girl's house and get lucky 4 times out of 10 times?" And then the guy's like, "Oh,
That's a good thought. That's a good
because
thought.
LeBron is he lost 6 finals, and Jordan won 6 finals.
How time? Wait, but yeah, Jordan's never lost a final, right?
No, he was 6 for 6, and then LeBron was 4 out of 10.
That's what I'm trying. Well, let's see. I'm gonna think of how many times.
That's just a funny perspective to look at it, though.
It is, oh no, literally, it's a good way to look. It's interesting because it's like literally like like I'd rather have the efficiency.
If you're going to your girl's house, you're trying to get down and dirty 6 times out of 6 or 4 times out of 10.
Hey, LeBron's maybe not that good in the back.
Yeah.
But like I'm actually trying to think because the Cavs was not his fault because when they played the Spurs. He
Oh
had
no,
no
he was
chance.
literally the same age as me now.
Really?
He was 22, right?
He was really like 22, 23. Literally.
Yeah.
He was super. He was
He was
super
carrying
young.
a team.
And his team was
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
I mean, Ellis was older, but then the Maverick series was totally his fault. That was his fault. And then
Would you say the Spurs was his fault in 2014? too?
Didn't he play bad in one of those series?
Which one?
Like the one where they won.
Well, so they beat the Thunder and the Spurs in back-to-back years. But
Yeah.
then in 2014, they lost to the Spurs.
That's that year that Kawhi won. Because Kawhi did shut LeBron down, though. But
Yeah.
Kawhi was younger, but Kawhi is still like...
And then the Warriors, I'm not going to blame LeBron for any of the Warriors losses because the Warriors are just better. Like,
The
Yeah.
team where they had Kevin Durant, that one I don't.
even in 2015, I still don't
But they
blame them.
still could. They had a chance, though, because of fucking JR, dude. That was so dumb.
You're saying that was like in 2017, right? Or were you-
Like no, the year they won, they lost that first game because of the OT.
They still would have lost the finals though.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
they would have, but like
Yeah.
they would have taken that. I think it was either one, like they were either leading 1-0 or they were tied.
What
And
year
they
was this
could've-
in?
This was when they lost with Kevin Durant.
Oh, like 2017 or 18.
And then JR fucked. I'm like, but like they had a chance to win that game, and of course JR just.
Do you remember like when Rihanna like showed up to like the finals and everybody was like throwing out like it was like all the hype because like Kevin Durant was like getting mad at her.
Oh yeah, well Kevin Durant was getting mad at everybody because literally
because like LeBron, she was a big LeBron fan and like LeBron like was like shut her up.
Dude, well,
Kevin Durant did.
Because also, like, with Jay-Z, like, Rihanna and Jay-Z, like, LeBron and Jay-Z, they all go way back.
Oh, LeBron and Jay-Z?
Yeah, LeBron and Jay-Z. Like, Jay-Z was friends with LeBron, like, right when he came into the league. It was crazy.
Dang, they're all just, like, industry plants.
Literally. Well, like, Jay-Z's just had so many, like...
Jay-Z is so weird, bro. Like, something about Jay-Z just seems so weird to me.
Like the way, like his status, or
just like him and Beyonce, like there's like like the Illuminati rumors.
Yeah.
They just all seem weird because I even saw a recent thing of him at an award show, and he was like saying, "Yeah, my wife Beyonce, she's won 30 Grammys, but she never won Album of the Year." And he was like complaining about that. It's like, just take your award and shut the fuck up. Like at that point, it's like, you know what I mean though? It's like,
yeah,
she's won 30 Grammys. Like, why are you like ungrateful now? Like,
yeah, she's won 30 Grammys. Yeah,
he's something like that. He's like, my wife's won so many Grammys, but she never won the Album of the Year. That makes this industry as terrible. It's like, I mean, like that's not usually how you accept an award, but okay.
Was this was the Grammys, right? Or like
I think it was the Grammys, yeah.
But
I could show you the clip of it after this thing.
Like there have been so many complaints about the Grammys because so many people got robbed.
Just like rigged,
because the classic example is
Megan Thee Stallion.
Or
was it? Who was it?
That. But I was
Megan Thee Stallion won.
Or over who?
Bro, she literally won Best New Artist over fucking Lil Baby, DaBaby, and Roddy Ricch. It's like no way, bro.
Yeah, no, I would. Roddy Ricch did fall off though.
But like that one year, Roddy Ricch.
Oh, true.
Either one of those.
Wait, was this Please Excuse Me year?
This was the year that they did like Rockstar, and they also did like The Box.
Yeah. Please Excuse Me, which is literally a modern classic album.
But like think about it, Roddy Ricch. Like, do you remember like during COVID, like Roddy Ricch, Lil Baby, DaBaby, they were all going crazy. Megan Thee Stallion had like one song that was like okay, but like
literally,
and it's because of the feminism agenda, probably. Or something.
I'm assuming, hey, more women representation. It's the narrative. It's all about the narrative. But
if the woman's the most talented, but like out of those four, like she wasn't. She just wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Nicki Minaj might have been the most talented one year. Nicki Minaj was cooking back in the day.
Nicki Minaj, did she ever win a Grammy?
She probably did. Back in 2010, Nicki Minaj was actually really talented. Like Nicki Minaj is way more talented than Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion ever were.
Oh, go listen to Monster. Like she literally, she was
good.
Young and she bodied an in-prime Jay-Z on that song.
No, yeah, she was fucking good. Like there's a reason why she's like up there.
Yeah, and then like what I guess like one more thing I thought of just before we end this, but like the classic example I always think of that everybody points to where somebody got robbed was, and I do kind of agree with this, but I think people need to like it's just a little too harsh. Like that I forgot what the album's called. The Heist won over Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh yeah, whose album was that? Was that
Macklemore's?
Oh, Macklemore over Kendrick,
right? And well, then like Kendrick or Macklemore, he did text Kendrick saying like, "I'm sorry they robbed you." Like,
Macklemore's just like such a nice guy. He just has to text him.
I'm like he even knew he got robbed or that Kendrick got robbed. But yeah, like
actually, yeah.
But I do like that. The Heist is a good album. It's just that Good Kid, Mad City is Good Kid, Mad City.
I think that the Heist was more like a commercial hit, probably.
I mean, it was huge. I don't actually. Maybe the Heist might have been bigger. Like
at the time,
like because Thrift Shop was huge. Like Good Kid, Mad City, you'd like Mad City and a couple other songs, but there wasn't like Swimming Pools was a big song, but I don't think anything on Good Kid, Mad City. Yeah, I don't think anything on Good Kid, Mad City had the commercial success of that.
Bro, 2012 was such a good year, man. We were just like little kids vibing.
Dude, back in the day, there was good music. I feel.
Oh yeah, the music was actually really good back then too. Even the rap music was way better back then.
The rap music,
and rap wasn't even the main genre; it was pop. Pop music was so good back then.
True, yeah. Even the rap was good. I felt
Kanye and Jay-Z were cooking.
I felt bad. That was Watch the Throne. I forgot. I felt bad though I feel bad for this new generation because even the shows suck now too.
Disney Channel was popping. Nickelodeon was popping.
You're watching Disney Channel.
Like the Sweet Life on Dash.
Sweet Life. I thought about going back to that show again. Mr. Mosley, I heard kill somebody.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Bro, and Obama was the president. I don't like Obama now, but back in the day, we all thought Obama was like a good guy. But now we realize that he just drove the fuck out of Yemen.
We literally and the Gaza thing, but like that's like I feel like though like we look at a president and then like 30 years later we're like, this guy kind of fucked up. Or like even like 10, 20 years.
I think
Like
Obama.
with Bush, where everyone was like, oh, Bush is good, and then he invaded.
Oh, really? I think people hated Bush during his time.
No, his popularity before they invaded Iraq was crazy. Like
Maybe
with the help the
before
fears
that.
of 9/11, like he had a couple other good policies at the time, like that we thought like, and he was untouchable.
Interesting.
Then he invades Iraq, and then
Yeah, once like 2004 hit around, and then mid he probably just went down, and he did get reelected though. Shit.
yeah, who did he really? I don't even think he had a good opponent, but
John Kerry. Yeah.
maybe somebody like
In the
that.
second, you're talking about the first or second term?
The second term,
John Kerry. Yeah, he beat John Kerry in the second.
really was John Kerry of like a good candidate, or that's the thing, like, or at least because you always have some decent candidates, but nobody that's like mainstream candidate.
Honestly, like Al Gore almost beat him in 2000.
I think he like popular vote. He did beat him, and like Al Gore was thinking
It's like
about that
Florida.
recount. He was thinking about that recount, but yeah,
I mean, Obama didn't really. Mitt Romney and John McCain weren't really the best candidates he was going against.
Mitt Romney.
Or John McCain.
John McCain was a
might-
good candidate though.
He might have been a little better than Romney, but he wasn't like. I don't know, Obama was like the first. Like he was like a black JFK. Like this was like the
well,
guy.
but like that's.
Yeah.
I mean, as like a candidate. I mean, that's the thing. Obama didn't have the military success that John McCain did, or like because this dude got.
John McCain was really old. I think that's probably why
he was older. But I mean, look at our election this year. But I mean, I think it's
stolen though.
I think
Allegedly stolen.
I think it's just more like accepted to have an older president because
Yeah.
probably of like Reagan and other stuff. But like, yeah, just like just that whole and Mitt Romney like as a candidate was like a strong candidate. Obama had two really good candidates he had to fight or had to run against.
Real interesting. I don't know. I think Trump and Hillary, like those two candidates, like that was a pretty good matchup. Hillary was obviously like a terrible like
I respect
politician.
his children.
But like I think Trump and Hillary, those were both like pretty like polarizing candidates that year.
in their own right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, like that. And then, but that's the thing. Like this was before Trump came in office, so we didn't know what he was going to do yet.
Yeah.
So then, yeah.
But I think McCain was a better candidate than Romney, but I don't think either one of them was like this is like I guess I'm comparing them to Obama because Obama was like kind of like a once in a lifetime kind of candidate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was black.
He was like the black JFK kind of. I feel like.
Because JFK like stood out because he was Roman Catholic, right?
Or people thought he was gonna be. JFK was just like the young, good looking like. JFK just like made Americans excited for the future.
Right. Well, because
Kind of like Obama did. Like Obama's like America's ready for a black president. It was kind of like similar to that. A little
Well,
bit.
they're both like some of the youngest presidents we've had.
Yeah, they're young, fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anybody? I thought of this. Was anybody younger than JFK or no? Was he the youngest?
Theodore Roosevelt was actually young when he
Was
got
he?
elected. Believe it or not, he looked old though.
Was he? Oh, you're right. That was well. Did he get? Or are you talking about? Because he got like. Did he get elected when McKinney was shot, or is that?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Or are you talking about the 05, 06 which I actually don't know who he ran.
Well, Theodore
against.
Roosevelt had 2 terms.
That's the I don't know who he ran against in that second term, but like the first term, like
1901. I don't know.
yeah, that was because McKinney got shot. So I don't know if he got elected in that one, but the second one I don't know who he ran against.
So that's a
But
good
he was-
point. Maybe he's the youngest to become a
But
president.
you're right. I think
Yeah.
he wasn't even 50 when he ran that second term.
No, yeah, Obama and JFK were like maybe 46 or 47. I don't know how old Theodore Roosevelt was, but like around that age.
Well, you know what? Like go look up and one of Lincoln's casket being carried through New York City. There's 2 guys sitting on a balcony in like an apartment building, like kind of around like the left side of the picture. Eleanor Roosevelt's father and Theodore sitting there watching his funeral.
Wait, actually, that's crazy. You're saying you said Abraham Lincoln?
Abraham Lincoln's funeral. Theodore Roosevelt.
Why
At
Eleanor?
like 6 or 7.
Eleanor Roosevelt wasn't even alive though.
No, her father.
Oh.
And Theodore Roosevelt were sitting next to each other.
How old was Eleanor Roosevelt even alive at this time?
I don't think so.
No, probably not.
This was like, well, but no, because her father was like, this was like when they were like 6, 7, like kids.
That's trippy. That's crazy.
But then like and another paradoxical like history thing was like when Jefferson Davis, when he got caught, he was being led in chains, and there was a 7, 8-year-old Woodrow Wilson sitting there watching it.
Bro, Woodrow Wilson was like arguably one of the worst presidents we ever had.
He was like the classic like principles over action type of guy.
Bro was a race. I mean, back in the day, they were all racist, but like Woodrow Wilson, literally, like I think He was
Kicked out a bunch of his own
he was in
staff.
favor of the Federal Reserve in World War One. Like I just don't think I just don't think he was good.
Kicked out his most of the African American employees in the office, and the big one I always think of is like born
Yeah, that's what I was
born
saying,
to a
yeah.
nation or whatever. He showed it. He asked the guy to show it.
Yeah.
Birth of a nation, baby.
I don't know, honestly, like out of all the presidents, like Biden might be the worst one, bro.
This election is just gonna be crazy. But
Biden makes Jimmy Carter look like a good president.
Jimmy Carter, I gotta look more into Jimmy Carter's campaign, like because that's the I thought like he was just too soft. He was not the right president.
He was a bad president, but I don't think he was like a bad dude. Like I just think he was like not the guy.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But the Iran hostage crisis fucked him over.
And they couldn't wait for Reagan to come in.
Oh yeah,
America,
well that's the thing. They wanted somebody like I think, and it kind of reminds me of like the thought of like when the country switches presidents. Like even with the case with like Donald Trump, like who was more of like we're gonna stand up to China and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And you have Biden who's like letting everybody in and stuff like that. But not like even back in the day, it's like Jimmy Carter, like Russia's gaining ever more power, and you're just sitting there in the White House, and then
And he also had the Camp David Accord though, which is very controversial.
true that one as well. I need to look more into that one specifically, but
Yeah.
then the Iranian hostage crisis, which was so well publicized, and then Reagan comes in like the Soviet Union. We're setting up a military
Kinda like
missile
Trump-
defense system.
Kind of like Trump and Biden, but like a little less intense.
I always think of the Jimmy Carter Reagan.
Jimmy Carter's like Biden, but he's actually like not dumb. And Ronald Reagan is like Trump, but he's not as like brash.
Well, now, hey,
Yeah.
we could have Jimmy Carter back in the White House. 100-year-old Jimmy
That's
Carter.
crazy that he's still alive, bro.
100-year-old Jimmy Carter. Let's put him back in.
Bro, literally the economy hasn't been we have the worst economy we've had since Jimmy Carter. America.
Wait, really? I Clinton
Or inflation-
did decent with the like the money.
I'm saying the economy is the worst it's been since like the inflation's as high as it's been since Jimmy Carter.
Really?
The
Oh,
infl-
I'm thinking of the debt that because we were at a. At
Oh,
a
you mean like the debt
surplus.
ceiling?
Yeah, we were at a surplus with Bill Clinton, but then
Like in a bad way or a good way?
no, like we were at like we were even, and then
Oh,
it
yeah.
started to get.
No, I'm saying like the economy hasn't been this bad since the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Jimmy Carter, since like Jimmy Carter's era.
Oh, yeah, the '90s did have like a lot
No,
of.
the
inflation
80s and
stuff.
90s, the economy was mostly good.
Yeah.
The 2000s and 2010s, it was mostly like stable, like not too bad. Besides the housing crisis,
Yeah.
it was mostly like pretty
Yeah.
stable. When Trump was president, the economy was fucking great. In 2018, 2019 was great.
Yeah, it was like, and then like
Yeah, it went from like the best in 50 years to the worst in 50 years in like 2 years.
to be fair, COVID probably didn't help with that, but yeah.
COVID. I think COVID played a big role as well as like the Biden administration policies, like
Yeah.
like those two factors. Yeah.
And then like also they were trying to deal with like pulling people out of Afghanistan, which that was a shit show.
Dude, did you see the clip of Trump talking about Biden about like how like they left all the equipment behind? He's like, "You're a fucking dumbass, Biden, for doing that shit." Have you seen that?
I have not.
It's so funny, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whether you like or dislike Donald Trump, you can't deny that the man is funny and entertaining.
Dude, well, that's why he connects with so many people. Like
Yeah.
that's what makes him more of a face of the
Relatable,
country
yeah.
than Biden, though, because he can literally like Biden doesn't have that charisma, that type of communication
Biden just
that he could have with people.
Biden just can't form a single like paragraph. Like it's bad, bro.
Well, Trump, like when you listen to some of Trump's speeches, he does go kind of, but like people like that he just goes
Oh,
in
yeah.
different directions.
But at least like he's coherent in what he's saying.
Oh yeah.
Well, Biden just is like,
What's that?
what flavor ice cream do you have? Fucking chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. And then like I remember though, like when he was in Colorado and Biden fell off the stage, like
Oh my
he just
God.
like Trump's imitation, he just stands up and he's just like,
Oh my gosh, bro! I want to go to
where's the stage? Where's the stage?
I want to go to a Trump rally because they just show Biden bloopers at the rallies. It's like a WWE. It's like Biden's like worst moments. He fall down the stairs and he was like saying like I'm gonna. He's like I'm gonna end this speech in 2 words: "Made in America."
That reminds me of when Hillary Clinton was on Zach Galifianakis' show,
Yeah.
and like immediately he plays the Donald Trump ad. He's like, "Why are you playing my? I'm playing. I'll get like
Between
a
two
video."
birds is the best. Love it.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh, my favorite is when he robs Peter Dinklage. That's
I
hilarious.
didn't even see that.
Oh, go watch it.
Who's Peter Pink? Oh, the
midget.
Oh, the midget. Yeah.
He takes one of his eggs and just runs, and Dinklage
Oh,
just
really?
running after him. It's hilarious.
Have you seen his interview with Obama?
Oh yeah, he's the last black president.
And then Obama's like, "How do you like this to be your last interview?"
I'm like this. I know it's a joke, but I'm like this dude literally just like quote unquote threatened him on national TV. I'm like that is hilarious. The president, it's hilarious.
And then he's like, and then he asked like Brad Pitt, like, how old were you when you lost your virginity? Were you like just like born or something, or something?
Or and I think he also asked like Brie Larson. He was like, I'm not gonna ask super personal questions, but how old were you born and when was the first time you had your first period?
Bro, did you see the one with Natalie Portman where he was like saying like I know like in your movie it's like V for Vendetta, but is it also V for vagina or something like that?
That would make sense.
That's just hilarious though.
That is funny.
Anyway, though,
Yeah.
you have anything else to say? We've had a long episode.
That's what I was gonna say. We've probably been talking a long time, but it's good. Again, it's good to get like
Good,
these
yeah.
longer ones. Our last episode, I mean, it was a longer time. Like it was like 45 minutes, but this was a good, solid, long episode. That
I just have to like. I just gotta think of like the future audience when it comes to editing. I just gotta stop procrastinating and just focus on editing and be like, because I'm not gonna be perfect at the gate, but it's like a learning thing, you know.
we're learning more
Yeah,
about it
we're
the more
learning.
we do it.
That's
So
true, yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that I edit the in-depth basketball conversation, and then we can kind of go from there. But
Tuesday I don't have work, so I think Tuesday would be the day because like I'll have time to like get frustrated. I'm not get frustrated, but I'll have time to like just like toil.
Go time to like go
Learn
in
it.
and out of your computer. When you're done, you're just like, I'm out of here. Come back like 10 minutes later. All right, we're ready to edit.
Like if I'm learning how to edit, I want to have like a free day to do it. Kind of thing.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what literally
Or
Tuesday.
free a couple
that's what-
hours to do it. Yeah.
I got a couple hours on Tuesday. I'm gonna sit down on my computer, just focus.
Because if I'm doing it after work or something like that, like learning wise, like once I get the hang of it, I'll do it after. Like I'll be like rushing it, and I don't know,
Yeah.
it'd be like not as efficient. I feel like.
I want to make sure I take care of my health first and get that workout in, and then I'm gonna go and go make sure I get that edit.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But yeah, sounds good. Like thank you guys so much
For sure, yeah.
being a part of this. Watching us. Thank you.
The
for
real
all
OGs,
support.
like the first 13 people. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many? We'll have to figure out how many subscribers we're at now and how many views we're getting. But thank you guys for sticking with us for the whole hour and 50 minutes we've been doing this. Yeah, anything you want to say, Luke?
no, just stay hard.
Stay hard.
In the word of
bro.
David Goggins,
Stay hard, motherfuckers.
or like Ron or Johnny Sins. I don't know which one guy you're talking about.
Oh, David Goggins always wants like stay hard, motherfuckers.
But can you imagine like David Goggins like coaching like a porn star, and they're trying to stay hard, and David Goggins is like stay hard.
5 seconds in the freezer. 5 seconds in the freezer. You got this.
It's like about to climax, and David Goggins is like, push yourself to the limit. That man could like motivate you to do anything.
Oh, dude, like literally,
Yeah.
that's why I'll be watching occasionally like some of his motivational videos. I'm like, let's do this. Come on.
No, yeah, I gotta watch him before I go to the gym. It'll be good.
Oh, do it. It gets you hyped.
I can
It's
see that,
great.
yeah.
It's great. But yeah, like once again, thank you guys
All right,
so
see you
much.
guys.
And yeah, take care. Have a great night.
Peace out.
Peace.